fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's going with the outside of both of them. Maloney!
Oh, he's taking Anderson. Anderson's up top.
Oh my God! Big crash. Oh my goodness, half the field's going to get rolled.
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly.
Oh, there we go. Oh no!
That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my God!
God, what?
Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
Gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan. Assist to the front bumper, and he hits him again now. Rayon Fowler into the outside wall.
Gonna pass nearly 3 cars down that front straightaway, and he's gonna get them all done with. What amazing!
Race lead to the inside goes Logan Cloudman is gonna touch in. Pit press sideways. What a save!
Look to the outside as Cronkite goes off. De Jong into second place.
Going for the switchback. Oh, pinpoint driving.
It's howling down to the inside.
Oh, he's trying this contact though.
Slide left to the racetrack. Chris Renner drives it back down underneath, and he takes that second spot right back. Joker goes to Garrett Lowe.
Garrett Lowe should take victory with all that contact.
He's going to try and make the move around the outside the parabolica. That's not going to work, but he's going to try and get the cut back here. Get the run out the parabolica. That's beautifully done there. Michael Schumacher, there's a little bit of door banging as well.
Welcome to the 7th edition of the All Star Shootout, presented today by Racekraft Simulations, broadcast right here on SimSpeed TV, getting set to do battle around a shortened Road Atlanta circuit in the 2016 NASCAR Xfinity Cup cars. That ain't right. They're not Cup cars, they're Xfinity cars. But, well, they're designed to go on an oval, and we're setting them around the road course today, so this should certainly be a pretty wild event. The format itself is going to bring plenty of, I think, beating and banging into play today as drivers vie to be crowned champion of this event. My name is Ryan Jones. Alongside me in the booth is Nick, and behind the scenes is Fonty. Working those cameras. Let's talk about the drivers then that we've got in the field here, Nick. 16 drivers total, 14 by invite, and then 2 drivers earned their way in thanks to the Just Center event on Friday night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ryan. So we were running at Road Atlanta for Just Sender. It was delayed from Tuesday to Friday. So we've got 2 of those drivers, Kobe Williams and Job Stewart, have coming first and second, have upgraded to the All Star Shootout tonight. The other 14 drivers, some pretty well-known names. I'm sure we'll be able to have a good look at them as we progress through tonight.
Yeah, those just centered advancees. Job Stewart wasn't a surprise. He's been so dominant in that series, so consistent no matter what we're racing. Kobe Williams, that was a surprise. He really popped up out of nowhere to come home in second, and he's been slowly on the rise over the last few weeks, month or so. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes today against some of the best drivers we've got. Dane Warren, he's currently fastest in our practice session here. Cooper Webster, Jordan Caruso, Andrew Gilliam, Luke Pink, Thomas McMillan, Brady Myers, Kurt Stenberg, Adam Briggs, Harley Haber, Tom Freer, Jake Burton, Corey Shepard, and Jake Maloney. They're the other 14 drivers that are going racing in this one, joined, of course, by Stewart and Williams. So our format for tonight, it is quite big. So we've got heat racing, 4 cars per heat, and by the end of the night, everyone will have raced each other at least once. 5 rounds, 4 heats per round, each heat consisting of 4 different drivers. Here's an example. So round 1, in Heat 1, it's Gilliam, Williams, Pink, and Stenberg. In Heat 2, it's Caruso, Maloney, Warren, and Stewart. In Heat 3, Shepard, Briggs, Webster, and Burton. Heat 4, Haber, Myers, Freer, McMillan. Then he moved to round 2, and those 4 driver combinations change around again. So you never have the same field twice. At the end of 5 rounds, the drivers with the most points, that will set our semi-final grids just 2. So 8 people will go home after round 5, and then our final. We'll get into that, though, a little bit later on in our evening. Another thing to note, Nick, is that each driver can nominate, at some point tonight, 1 double points race.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it's almost a mix of, so I'm mixing a NASCAR car on a road circuit with almost rallycross rules. So not only can they nominate a double points race, there's also a joker as well for each race as well. So yeah, there's going to be, fair enough that Dane Warren and Cooper Webster both right on the pace at the moment. It will come down to a little bit of strategy as well.
That joker lap is going to throw a huge spanner in the works of these drivers. Only 4 laps to our heats. You can't take it on the final lap because you won't be able to complete it before the checkered flag. So the latest you can take that joker will be the beginning of the white flag lap. And that joker lap in itself, you go straight at the final corner and head into what is effectively the old pit lane, I believe, here at Road Atlanta. And then you rejoin on the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So all the cars in the session will also be, so the actual pit lane that the cars will be using will be on the right-hand side. So yeah, the joker will be drifting very far to the left-hand side. We saw a few drivers in practicing that joker lap, so it wouldn't be quite often that you'd need to be practicing driving flat out through a pit lane in a NASCAR on a road course, but sure enough, practice makes perfect. So
plus,
we'll
drivers to be very familiar with the rest of this circuit. The joker lap, well, I have never seen that piece of the track used, and obviously pit lane, yeah, that's never been used in a racing format either. It was very much feeling like a rallycross event with the way our heats and the points format are working. Throwing the joker in there as well. Should be just 30 seconds away from our first 4 drivers heading out onto the racetrack. The way this is going to work is, again, take a rallycross comparison. They're starting at gates. So once released by race control, they'll make their way on a formation lap around this circuit, and then they'll line up on the start line 4 wide to begin our race, because, you know, let's set them down into that first corner 4 wide and see what happens. It's definitely not a 4 wide corner. And when we get to our finals, drivers will get the choice of their gate as well, with priority going, obviously, to the highest driver in the points at that time. The gate selection for the final will work off the semi-final 1 winner, semi-final 2 winner, and so forth. Any tiebreakers will go to the most wins or most seconds and so forth until you find a difference in that. Another technicality to go over is if a driver jumps the start at any point, the starts are not automatic on iRacing. They're manually called by race control. If a driver jumps, they'll have to serve another joker lap. So 2 joker laps is something you'll only see if someone messes up their start. These cars, though, they're going to be tricky to get around this place. As I said earlier, they're designed for the ovals, not designed for road course racing. Ironically, they are at a road course this weekend in real life at Daytona, which was an interesting race in the damp conditions to begin with. Bone dry today, but still going to be slippery under that right foot. As you try to put the power down, the rear end's going to want to get away from you very quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was lucky enough to qualify for Just Send It on Friday and being well off the pace at the moment. So, yeah, navigating these really such powerful Mustang NASCARs around the track is almost impossible. They're, so quick to slide out, and it's very hard to get a feel for what's happening underneath you. So it's going to be really interesting as they cross that start-finish line. it's quite a narrow. It does open up a little bit into that turn 1 corner, but that corner's nearly literally only wide enough to fit four NASCARs mirror to mirror. So trying to get away from the start, I think, will be the trickiest in these first few heats.
It will. They've just finished up their driver's briefing. Clint, the organizer of the series and the event, just going over the rules for these guys. Oh, there's still one more point to go. It's just talking about the race starts. So I'll explain it for you guys too, so you know what's happening for the drivers out there. The race control, which is Clint, will call drivers stand by once he's happy with how all four are lined up on the grid. At that point, there's a 10-second window from which he can call green, and that will indicate the start of the race, when the drivers can put that throttle down. And honestly, I don't think I'd be putting the throttle all the way down straight away, because if you do that, you're going to find yourself with a bucket load of wheel spin and going pretty much nowhere fast. So modulation on that throttle pedal is going to be pretty important as we launch off the line in what is going to be 23 races over the course of this evening, 20 through the heat and round format, and then 2 semis and our grand final.
Yeah, that's right, Ryan. And we'll see as it evolves what's going to be the preferable gate. You'd think logic would permit being on the furthest on the inside would be the most preferable, because it gives you the most amount of room as well as the slight edge over everyone else. But potentially, it's quite tricky, because the start of the track is a long right-hand corner followed by a blind left-hand crest. So we're just seeing a few of the cars head out now. So just switching over. So we're just seeing our five.
4.
It is 4. That's right. 5 would probably be almost impossible. But we're just seeing a few of our first runners on track. So I'm sure all the other drivers will be having a good look and seeing what the best strategy is.
There's the link between the first half and the last half of the circuit. That indicates our very short circuit here at Road Atlanta. Big stopping zone down the hill into turn 10A and 10B. And then we head over the crest into our final corner and start-finish line. Andrew Gilliam, the driver on your screen. To the right of your screen, that's where the Joker lap is. And if we can go on board Luke Pink, you'll see it in a moment as well, as he rises over the crest, under the bridge, and yeah, just to his left there, that's where they're going to go, all the way past the sand trap, and then into pit lane on the far left of the screen. Lining up now in their gates, as we're going to call them tonight, on the start-finish line, 4 wide, and Kobe has forgotten how to line up 4 wide. Looks like they're actually trying to put themselves in the right gates. There is a format to this to ensure evenness across the evening. Everyone will get to start from gate 1 at least once, which is the inside and therefore preferred line. And there we go. Now we're lines up. Waiting on race control for the start here. Revs rising. Heat 1. Green flag is out. We're racing for the first time tonight. That's an even start from all 4 of them. Then suddenly popping out front is Kurt Stenberg from gate number 4. And alongside him is Andrew Gilliam into turn 1 for the first time. Gilliam trying to take it away, but Stenberg holding firm for now, up through 3.
Yeah, great work by Stenberg with the...
he's thrown it off the track. Gilliam went straight.
Yeah, that's a very tricky corner there, as we'll see a lot of cars come over there with cold tyres. So Gilliam, not that quick during practice. He was a little bit further down, as we see who our provisional leader is at the moment.
Stenberg.
It is Stenberg, yeah. So Stenberg pretty quick during practice. So yeah, with those cold tyres, you really just want to ease it in as we see him come down the hill.
Luke Pink second, Andrew Gilliam third, Kobe Williams off the back of them in fourth. Remember, they're racing for points right now, so they can't afford to throw their race away as 2 cars take to the Joker on lap 1. Andrew Gilliam followed by Kobe Williams. There's Gilliam, gassing it up down the old pit road. And then they will see the entry into turn 1 at a much tighter angle than they're normally used to. That drops them a long way behind the 2 that stayed out, Stenberg and Pink. Interesting to note as well, once the points go out the window once you reach our finals. So up until then, race of position, not for ultimate race of points, not for ultimate position. That's the point I was trying to say.
That's exactly right. So we're just seeing Pink and Gilliam come down at the moment through 10A and 10B. With the shorter course, surely those corners would be named slightly different, but we'll just see just seeing that performance sim sports car come through there.
And that is the Joker lap being taken by Luke Pink. This means that Kurt Stenberg will have to take the Joker at the end of this lap, otherwise he won't get it completed before the checkered flag, because the end of the Joker lap is classed as a re-entry to turn 1. Andrew Gilliam did emerge ahead of Luke Pink, so Pink lost a bit of ground by staying out. Gilliam with some pretty good pace in clean air. Kobe Williams looks like he's made a mistake because he's fallen a long way back, and he's had a spin, in fact, down through the S's.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Kobe Williams, was looking pretty strong there in Just Send It, so he will get a bit of a chance to bring that late pace. Just looking at Andrew Gilliam at the moment go over that right-handed crest is a real, it's almost you got to go through there at half throttle because it really unsettles the car as they come over the line.
Watch this. Andrew Gilliam takes away the lead of the race from Kurt Stenberg, who fires out of the Joker lap and actually gets onto the grass and loses out to Luke Pink, who goes by him. So Kurt Stenberg not getting it right on the Joker re-entry costs him a spot and a shot at Gilliam as well, who will be comfortable then, heading up through the S's and through the crossover onto the back half of our circuit. Heat 1. Looks like Andrew Gilliam will emerge as our race winner. We can just get it pulled up through the bottom chicane here on the final lap. A good job from him. Top 3 all in shot. And Williams, well, he'll need to recover over the next few rounds. Checkered flag is out for Andrew Gilliam. First winner of the night from Luke Pink and Stenberg and Williams in that order.
Yeah, great work by Gilliam there. You can even see still how twitchy those cars are, even with a bit of warmth in the tyres, with Gilliam sliding it there onto that last corner there. So yeah, great work there by Gilliam.
Now we'll get ready for heat number 2. And let's take a look at our starting grid for heat 2. It will be Jordan Caruso in gate 1, which is where Gilliam started in the last one. Maloney, Warren, and Stewart from gates 2, 3, and 4. Job Stewart, I think, is a very strong wildcard entry through his Just Send It entry, because he can take it to some of the best drivers in the country on any given day of the week, I'd say. So, not to receive an invite in the first place might have been a bit stiff. Did a good job to get himself in, and now just has to show why he belongs in this field. Dane Warren, well, he competes in the Porsche Esports Super Cup. Cooper Webster's been going pretty strong. He's not in this heat, but another driver to watch out for today. I think that'd probably be my 3 picks for the evening, Nick.
Yeah, I'm probably looking towards Caruso. He did have some pretty early pacing in qualifying, so I think he'll be suited pretty well. But yeah, you definitely can't rule out Job Stewart doing so well in the Just Send It, so looks like we're getting our wild card drivers out of the way pretty
quick,
early.
yeah. Well, for round 1 at least.
For round 1, that's correct. So, yeah, I've got my money on Caruso.
We'll update you on points as we go through the evening. Thankfully, they're being inputted for us. We have to do quick maths, because that would not go well. Wonder who the first set of drivers will be to line up exactly dead even. It won't be these two. These 4. They're close enough, though. So, they get given the all clear. Ooh, little move there, but still behind. Waiting. Launching. Dane Warren with the whole shot. And going nowhere with a whole load of wheel spin was Jake Maloney. They're almost banging doors. 3 abreast. The one who emerges out of this. Only 2 of them will. As Joe Stewart has to catch a slide and falls behind Maloney.
Yeah, excellent work there by Joe Stewart. There's not a lot of steering lock on these Mustang NASCARs, so quite lucky to catch it and keep it off the grass. He's in for a pretty hard task now to bring it back to the front.
Warren all over the back of Jordan Caruso, almost on his bumper, in fact. Wonder if he can make a move down at what would be turns 10A and 10B. I think I'm just going to keep calling it that for the rest of the evening as he looks to the outside. Defensive from Caruso, and just squeezes him out on the entry to the corner. Now, if I'm Warren, I'm doing the opposite to Caruso here. Caruso takes a joker, so Warren stays out. That's exactly what happens. That means he gets clean air.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We're just seeing him come through on lap 1. Pretty well spread out at the moment, so we're just seeing... I think that's Caruso there. Jake Maloney.
Maloney there, ahead of
Maloney in
Joe Stewart.
third. That's exactly
Yep.
right, sorry.
Second now, but I'd say a net third. I doubt Caruso's going to lose much time in clean air unless he makes a mistake. Because those two had broken free of these two on that opening lap. You can see Warren just off in the distance in these shots. There he is, in his very easily identifiable bright, what is that, a bright blue and black car?
Yeah, that's right. I'm just looking at that gap there, and it does look like a slowdown. I reckon that will be for Jake Maloney.
Saw that.
Yeah.
I reckon he's escaped, actually. I reckon he's down a couple of bits. Certainly not serving the slowdown yet, so I reckon he's escaped it and found a bit of a shortcut there through 10A, as both he and Warren will take to the Joker on this lap of the race. Joe Stewart took it on that lap and rejoins considerably behind Jordan Caruso.
We're just seeing...
In fact, sorry, Dane Warren did take it on that lap. I didn't quite catch that. So Maloney, the only driver yet to take it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So everyone's pretty spread out at the moment. I can't see any late moves at the moment. So just looking at that graphic there. So yeah, I think Maloney is the only car at the moment, as we'll see him come through. This will be his last chance now to get that Joker lap as he comes around.
Yep. There he goes. And I feel for the poor cones that have been placed right on the Joker lap entry, because they're going to cop a bit of a beating today. White flag for our drivers here in heat number 2. And where's Maloney going to rejoin? It's going to be very close. In fact, it's alongside Joe Stewart, who gets pinched and can't carry the momentum out of the corner. So that leaves Maloney in what looks like 3rd place, because Caruso in that bright purple car is just off in front of them.
Yeah, and we're just seeing Dane Warren absolutely walking away from everyone, as we're still Maloney and Stewart. Joe Stewart right on the rear bar there. There's
You should have seen the slide. Oh, they're both in the grass, and Stewart's got the fence. Back a shot. You just saw it over the crest. They made a little bit of contact, and they came together. They'll keep it going, but that settles that dispute. Dane Warren will win the heat from Jordan Caruso, Maloney 3rd, and Stewart 4th. A little bit of a taste of what's to come when the action ramps up a little bit later on, as Maloney and Stewart found the limit of adhesion up across the top of the circuit.
Yeah, great stuff there by Jake Maloney. It almost looked like he faked him into the grass. So, yeah, the elbows are definitely out in these earlier heat rounds. Definitely still some good points. So, we're just hearing now over the radio. Looks like our next row of cars are just coming through now.
Yep. Who are our next 4 drivers out onto the track then? It is Corey Shepherd, Adam Briggs, Cooper Webster, and Jake Burton.
Yeah, so Cooper Webster very strong on Friday night in Just Send It. So he was already penciled in for the All Star Shootout. So whether or not he won or not, he was definitely going to be in no matter what. He's probably arguably an early favourite. Just casting my eyes over qualifying to see who else was almost near him, but yeah, Briggs kind of a midfield. So yeah, I reckon Cooper Webster's going to get a bit of a handball on this one.
He will. It's going to be a little bit tough. I think this heat, definitely wide open. Unlike the last week, it'd probably highlight Dane Warren as being favourite. Can't highlight a favourite in this one. Webster, Shepherd, Briggs, and Burton are all very, very consistent performers who I'd always put my money on to walk away with a result in any given race. So let's see who gets the result in this one. Remember, coming 4th in this first heat is not the end of the world. We're racing for points at this stage in the evening. They got up nice and quickly. Let's get this one underway. Green flag. And it's Webster with a money shot. 4 distinctly different starts. The worst of all being from Adam Briggs. Slotting into second behind Cooper Webster will be Jake Burton. Corey Shepherd there in third.
Yeah, excellent work there by Webster. Definitely getting that NASCAR off the line. Absolutely clear of the field. He's almost, you could say, 5 or 10 car lengths all the way to Jake Burton. So we'll see if he goes for the early Joker run. I think he might want to stick it out there while he's got clean air.
Whoa. Webster and Burton both a bit of a wiggle through that corner. It's a very tricky corner. It was power on for the most part. Trying to accelerate while turning the car. It is something these cars are notoriously bad at, unless it's to the left, with some banking to assist. So, going to see a few of that. A few more instances of that tonight, with cars sliding through there, as Jake Burton locked it up, getting into the Joker. That might cost him a little bit of time. He looked a bit sluggish on that run through. Adam Briggs also taking to the Joker lap.
Yeah, so Corey Shepherd and Cooper Webster both looking pretty comfortable at the moment. So we'll see. Probably the big one will be seeing where Corey Shepherd comes out when he does take his Joker run. So almost hitting the halfway mark as we're just seeing Adam Briggs come past in that beautifully painted DPR car. It's great seeing these made up NASCAR liveries.
There's one thing a NASCAR vehicle's always good for. It is paint schemes. And we're seeing that definitely tonight. Corey Shepherd brings it to the Joker lap.
And big numbers as well.
Oh, yes, definitely. Makes it very easy to identify who is who. Those giant numbers on the side, which I think actually NASCAR are talking about getting rid of and replacing with quarter panel numbers. So hopefully they don't do that. As Corey Shepherd will come out just in front of Adam Briggs and comfortably behind Jake Burton.
Yeah, it does look like Corey Shepherd is at the back here, as we're just seeing Cooper Webster, just seeing that Mustang feeding that power on over these right-hand crests there and clipping the grass coming into the braking zone. So absolutely pinpoint accuracy there by the Altus driver as he comes over. You can see how steep that crest is. So coming in for his Joker run, so he'll be pretty clear of the field at the moment.
Well, let's see where he comes out. Could be pretty close with Jake Burton, although Looking at their relative location on the racetrack. Hang on there, Burton. Don't throw it all the way just yet. Webster will have them covered down through turn 1. In fact, got him covered by quite some way, and Burton throws it off the track again. Got to be careful he doesn't get caught by Briggs and Shepard behind, because they are starting to get a little bit closer.
Yeah, it's such a beautiful track, and great seeing the undulations. By the looks of it, I think that was just Jake Burton there taking a massive slide there, coming around that long sweeping right-hander. I think we might have just missed it off camera there, but that has slowed him up a little bit. That has pulled Corey Shepard onto the back.
And out of the chicane. It's the last lap, so out front it's checkered flag for Cooper Webster. Heat number 3 goes the Altus man's way. Jake Burton slides it across in second ahead of Corey Shepard and Adam Briggs, running him out in 4th place.
There we go. So tip favourite Cooper Webster taking it out. Maximum points there, so he'll be in for a bit of a break. Actually, no, he'll be one of the first drivers in round 2, so he'll get a one, almost an advantage, you could say, because he's going to be still keeping pretty sharp just after those laps, so he'll only have to wait a few minutes before he's back out on track again.
Yeah, all the weights are pretty short in this one. So our last 4 drivers who haven't gone out yet tonight: Harley Haber, Brady Myers, Tom Freer, and Thomas McMillan. Haber, of course, having raced in the Supercar Z Series, the All Star Z Series, doing a pretty good job. Got a race win, in fact, at Mount Panorama, I think it was. So we know he's definitely fast on the sim. He's very quick in V8 scops. Not the only driver with real-world experience either in this field. Jake Burton, of course, having competed in the Toyota 86 series.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, definitely a lot of Scops drivers in the list as well. And we've also seen, I think it was Corey Shepard as well, racing in PDC yesterday. So doing 2 hours and 20 minutes around Panorama, and also in a Mustang. A little bit slower one, but it was also one that struggled to turn and brake as well. So just a little bit less power.
Yeah, the ultimate race car. Doesn't want to stop, doesn't want to turn, and doesn't want to accelerate either. In fact, it does want to accelerate, but it wants to accelerate at 1,000,000 miles an hour. As we've seen with some of these starts. Some of them are getting it right, some of them are getting it horribly wrong. Harley Haber gets stall number 1. Ooh, that's pretty close to dead even between all 4 of them. Good job. Alright, final heat for round 1. Who gets a jump this time? You let them wait a long time. Harley Haber gets the jump. Myers, McMillan, Freer. In that order, down to turn 1. And look how quickly they got single file this time.
Yeah, pretty spread out at the moment, but we're just seeing that it does look like Brady Myers there on the back.
Oh, over the back of Haber. Got up over the curb though for turn 3 because he was slightly offline. And McMillan wants a piece of it here, but he can't get it. Myers just able to keep the pace up around the outside, but now it's a battle on pretty cold tyres to keep the car glued to the track through this right-hander, all 4 of them. Doing a pretty good job of it as Tom Freer in the background was just showing the nose a little bit on McMillan ahead. Not close enough to make that move. Pinch of the brake, throw Brady Myers as he reaches the end of the braking zone there.
Yeah, just send him coming across, under that bridge there, and all the 3 back of...
Oh, he's gone off, he's hit the fence! Jake Burton! Sorry, Brady Myers, similar paint skins. Brady Myers straight into the fence, and now Freer and McMillan are side by side at the Joker lap.
Yeah, Freer yielding there to McMillan, so thought there was going to be all 3 of those cars having big accidents with McMillan. A massive twitch there in turn 1. That is going to look pretty good there for Tom Freer, but that's also giving a pretty big handball there to Harley Haber, just powering down the road.
Pro tip, before a heat race, never talk about someone who has a very similar paint scheme to someone else in the heat race. Because you might call out the wrong driver's name.
That's right.
They're in this damn field. That means Haber's the one that hasn't taken the Joker, and he should be pretty free of the field because when Brady locked it up and hit the fence, it checked up McMillan and it checked up Freer. Which means Haber, as he comes to the Joker now, as long as he doesn't repeat Brady's mistake, he doesn't, will be very, very comfortable, and he is. He has got the biggest margin we've seen so far tonight as he blazes through that Joker lap. McMillan will try to get there, but he won't.
Yeah, a bit unfortunate there for Brady Myers. That's our real first incident we've seen, so I was expecting to see quite a lot of mistakes here with these cold-tired NASCARs, but yeah, it shows the absolute quality of the field that we have tonight. It's almost many of the best in Australia that we're seeing right now as we just see McMillan come around that big sweeper. See the big black lines there, these Mustangs are absolutely laying down.
Licorice straps.
That's right. The huge horsepower of these NASCARs is just looking at Tom Freer here, sitting in third place.
White flag for Harley Haber. Tom Freer crossing a line only now. That's the gap across your top three. McMillan between them both. Myers with that contact with the tyre bundlers a long way off in fourth. No damage to speak of to his car, not visibly anyway, so at least in that front he escapes. How was the air time there for Tom Freer over the curve at turn 3? It's not a big curve, but it does a lot to the car. Check out the travel on that car as it props up on two tyres over these curves.
Yeah, that's right. These NASCARs are so low to the ground and are so sensitive, as we just see Brady Myers feeding that power on there into that NASCAR. Coming down the hill, they've got pretty small brakes, very stiff suspension as well, obviously designed for oval racing. So it's great seeing them trying to cope with the transitions that we have here at Road Atlanta.
That's the checkered flag for Harley Haber from McMillan, Freer and Myers. Your four cars in our final heat of round 1. On to round 2 then. We'll send the drivers out, this time with a slightly different combination. Hard to figure out who... Well, there's a lot of drivers level on points after round 1, but we did have a driver take their double points race that time by, and it was Cooper Webster. So with that race win, he actually puts himself with an 8 points. Good job, good decision from him. If you're going to take those double points, you got to make sure you do it on a race you're going to win.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So almost betting on themselves. So we've got Cooper Webster taking maximum points there in round 1.
And you know what? Adam Briggs and Kobe Williams also elected do double points, but both of them came last in their heat, so they got no points.
Yeah, so even more strategy into play here as we're just seeing just off in the distance at the moment, some of the cars just lining up now, so...
Well, Tom Fred has to go straight back out. So he's actually had to reset back to pit lane, so he had a fresh car and didn't have a disadvantage there. It's Webster, Caruso, Pink, and Freer for this one.
Yeah, so some pretty strong drivers we're seeing now. So yeah, both Webster and Caruso, both in the top 3 in qualifying, so showing some pretty early pace here. So I reckon it'll be a great battle between these two, and I reckon we'll see both of these two in the semis as well.
Yeah, at that point of experience where you should know about the commentator's curse by now.
That's right.
Tom Freer finally gets to the grid alongside his other 3 competitors in this one. Here we go. Looking for the jump. There it is. And drag race between Webster and Caruso to turn 1. Inside line for Webster, though, so he should prevail. It's a slower drag race between Pink and Free as well behind them. Webster wins out over Caruso. Pink wins out over Free, but Caruso got the crossover. But as the track veers to the left before the right for 3, it makes it very hard to keep an overlap on the outside.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And pretty wise move there by Caruso. Just tucking it in there behind Webster. Obviously not going to take the win on the first corner, but like you can only imagine these laps are very short and it's a very quick race, so he'll need to start putting the pressure on early. As we're just seeing in the background,
That's
Luke
a move.
Pink and Tom Freya, yeah.
Freya not able to make it stick. Pink fending him off, and Joker lap 1 for Cooper Webster and Tom Freya as well. Webster pulls it up. Freya also pulls it up.
Yeah,
Got to be a little bit careful. That little kink to the left as you put the power down. I've seen a few drivers, the rear end just showing signs of getting a little bit unstable and getting very close to the Armco in the old pit lane there on the Joker lap. So could potentially be a spot to note for the evening.
Yeah, I think it was moved there by Cooper Webster. So in round 1, waiting to the last minute to pull his joke lap, but different strategy today. It's through this round. So yeah, wanting to get the Joker out of the way and get some clear road. Just on board with Luke Pink coming out of 10A and 10B, as we'll see both him and Caruso choosing to take that Joker lap now. Bit of a gap between the two, so as we just see, that does look like Cooper Webster absolutely thundering down the pit straight there. He'll definitely clear Caruso as Caruso rejoins. Pink rejoining him behind, so that has stuck Tom Freya out the back.
There's a gap then between Webster, Pink, and Caruso. Just waiting for Tom Freya off the back of these guys. Up and over the sweeping right-hander and back down to turn 10A, 10B. Drivers starting to take a little bit more of the chicane there. Not as much as Maloney took in his heat. As confidence starts to rise for these guys, and as we get into our later rounds as well, expect the aggression to rise as points become critical.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And such a short straight there. I was just catching them in the speed trap, so speeds of over 250 k's an hour. It's such a short back straight. You'd almost not even call it a back straight because it technically doesn't really straighten up until it starts heading into the corner there. But we're seeing Cooper Webster again shooting off. He does have a bit of a... You can see that gap there to Jordan Caruso. Luke Pink, oh, you could say with a lot of momentum there out of that right-hander, he's just that little bit too far back to put a move in. So
Yeah, about 5 car lengths too far back.
yeah, that's right. So he does... Caruso looking pretty safe at this stage, so it does look like, pending any mistakes here, that will be your
Second and
provisional
third.
result.
So Cooper Webster wins another heat. No double points for him this time though. Already used that one up. Only get 1 double points race for the night per driver. Caruso second, Pink third, Freya fourth. Did any of them double point that one other than Webster? Don't think they did.
We've just seen the magical spreadsheet populate itself at the moment. So our next heat we've got coming up, Heat 6 of round 2. We've got Briggs, Haber, Williams and Gilliam. Just seeing at the moment where is a strong gate. So at the moment we've seen 1, 2, 3 wins from gate 1. So looking like just see a few cars go up there at the moment, but it is looking like that inside right hand side is the preferred line at the moment.
It is. for obvious reasons. I'd also say Gate 4 could be potentially a good spot because of the rubber that would effectively be laid down, due to that being the racing line, and almost the sole line you take through there in racing conditions. Don't know quite what the track state is, though. If it's low enough, it won't have much of an effect. Yeah, so only 10% track state for qualifying, or practice rather, which is run before this session. So I reckon that means that Gate 4 doesn't have that racing line advantage you might see normally. Harley Haber, Kobe Williams, Andrew Gilliam, Adam Briggs lining up for this one. Briggs and Williams already on the back foot after taking a double points gamble in round 1 and walking away with 0 points. So they need to have a strong round pretty quickly. Looks like they're gridded up.
There, have you got your money on there, Ryan?
Not saying. Let's go. These cars sound glorious. And that's a lot of wheel spin from Kobe Williams. Once again, Harley Haber absolutely blistering with the launch into turn 1. He is free. Gilliam slots into second. Adam Briggs into third.
Yeah, these Mustangs really hitting that apex. It's quite tricky, that little kink up there, because it's a blind crest going in there, but obviously all these drivers spending a lot of time on the service, getting that practice in at Road Atlanta.
Just replace Tom Frio on that leaderboard with Adam Briggs, and you're good to go in terms of how they run in this one, except for the fact that Andrew Gilliam is second, Harley Haber is first, Kobe Williams is last. It'll update at the end of the lap, I reckon, as Williams and Gilliam take to the Joker there. Briggs and Haber continue on. There's that Armco on the right, where the cars get pretty close to it at the end, or as they get on the power, at the end of the big curve at the start of the Joker.
Yeah, you can just see that gap there coming back a little bit from Briggs to Haber. Good work there also by Kobe Williams, not having the greatest start at the moment, so bit of wheel spin off the line, and it has put him near the back a little bit, but he has pulled that gap back ever so slightly.
They had a decent slide going on there over the top of the hill. Out front, Harley Haber has so far been pretty comfortable this evening, winning winning round 1 in his heat, and so far leading his heat here in round 2 as he takes the Joker. And Gilliam will hope that he rejoins somewhere around him. It's going to be pretty close as Haber comes out of the Joker lap and Gilliam's right on his bumper. Behind them is side by side. That's Kobe Williams and Adam Briggs. Briggs on the outside for 3. Williams, can he keep the car in there across the curb? Jumps it, loses out to Briggs.
Yeah,
Good little exchange.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And just as we were talking about that as well, Harley Haber and Gilliam has pulled that gap right back, so they're going to thunder down that hill, Gilliam running wide there onto the grass, so that is going to give Haber the advantage there. I was thinking if he was going to line him up into that chicane, but he's just going to be that little bit too far back.
Williams is not letting Briggs skip away. 1 lap to go in this heat 2 of round 2. All on for 3rd place. It's 1 point or no points, and that can be a big difference when you get to the end of round 5. 8 will go through to our semis, 8 will go home after then, so getting a point here is crucial for both these drivers who've picked up none and have already used up their double points rounds. As here comes Williams, a slide from Briggs opens the door. Williams tries to force the door even further wide, couldn't do it. Now he slips up on the curbs and can't get there. Look out front. Gilliam's close back up to Haber. Is he close enough to have a look? Down at turn 10, A and 10B. Haber moves the car across just to cover off that inside. Not uber aggressive, just enough to dissuade Gilliam from having that look as behind. It looks like Briggs is going to be safe from Kobe Williams' advances. As through the final quarter, checkered flag will fly for Harley Haber over Andrew Gilliam. Adam Briggs in third, and I reckon Williams might have had a spin because he's dropped a long way off the back.
Yeah, I think Briggs ran it just a little bit wide there, but great work there by Kobe Williams to pull that amount of time back. Oh, sorry, Kobe Williams, I think, might have got towed out there, but yeah, excellent work there by Harley Haber. So, also, like Webb said, 2 wins from 2.
Seventh heat of the night, third one for round 2. Kurt Stenberg, Dane Warren, Jake Burton, Job Stewart. Now this is wide open. Any one of these guys could take out the whole night.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Ryan. These heat races, absolutely anything can happen. We're just seeing come onto... oh, sorry, they're just through the middle part of the circuit at the moment, so good chance probably to try and warm up the brakes and the tyres as best you can. Obviously, an outlap is not going to be the most ideal way to warm up those big NASCAR tyres.
And there's not much of a brake pedal to warm up anyway. Brakes in NASCAR are notoriously small. So that's why you see drivers struggling in the braking zones, and why you would have saw Brady Myers up in the fence, because you jump on that brake pedal and sometimes it's just not there for you, especially if it is stone cold. Dane Warren will not have gate number 1. That will go to Kurt Stenberg. Jake Burton will slot into gate 3, and it'll be Job Stewart in gate 4. Clint's happy. That means smash that pedal, hold it in neutral, or hold the clutch, and then let it go, and away we go. How about that launch of Warren? Just absolutely walked it off the line, and he's going to be able to take the racing line into turn 1. Job Stewart launching pretty well from gate 4, and a little bit of contact door-to-door between Stenberg and Burton through that first corner, as they both had a little bit of a lackluster start. And then into the back of Stenberg goes Burton into turn 3, moves him wide, but wasn't able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, there was definitely some contact there from Jake Burton right there into the back of Stenberg. So Stenberg, thankfully they were going in a pretty straight line and it didn't unsettle the car too much. Just seeing there, Dane Warren so strong again, straight off the line very quickly. We're going to see him up against a few of the other race winners later on. So looking so strong at the moment. Everyone choosing, a few fakes by a few of the cars, but we've had 2 of them come in for the Joker.
Warren and Stenberg stay out. Stewart and Burton come in. They weren't holding each other up because there's about 5 or 6 car lengths between them.
Yeah, so Dane Warren with a pretty comfortable lead at the moment. Just a big slide there from the back of his. We're just looking at Jake Burton at the moment, sitting 4th, about 10 car lengths or so to Job Stewart. So we could see it heat up again between Burton and Job Stewart.
Let's see if Stenberg opts to take the Joker on this lap. Dane Warren in front of him will get there first and make his decision in the 57. He's going to stay out, and so is Stenberg. 2 to go, so they'll have to take it at the end of this lap they're beginning now. Otherwise, they won't be able to complete it before the checkered flag comes out. Can't take it at the end of the white flag lap. Can't be cheeky. And luckily, race control Clint was aware to that little scenario and put that caveat in the rulebook for this one.
We are seeing a pretty strong lap there by Kurt Stenberg, but yeah, Dane Warren again, a 56-1, so just maintaining that gap there at the moment. We're just looking at Job Stewart at the moment, sitting third. Comfortable gap there to Jake Burton.
Yeah, they're all strung out at the moment, but watch while Warren and Stenberg rejoin the racetrack from this Joker. It will be very interesting indeed as Warren takes a lot of the grass, trying to cut that as tight as he can. Kurt Stenberg also taking a lot of the grass. And where do they rejoin? For Dane Warren, it will be pretty comfortably ahead of Job Stewart. And for Kurt Stenberg, it will be a long way behind Jake Burton.
Yeah, so you can definitely see Dane Warren definitely keeping his nose clean. It looks like he has definitely done his practice for the Joker run throughs. We're just looking at Job Stewart at the moment. Job Stewart and Jake Burton. We've already seen a bit of action from these two. Pretty big gap now, so it does look like our 4 positions have been set.
So Dane Warren going to go back-to-back and win another heat here tonight, following in the footsteps of Cooper Webster, who also went back-to-back. Job Stewart comes second, Burton third, Stenberg fourth, and now Kurt Stenberg under a little bit of pressure early on with just 1 point to his name, following the first 2 rounds, and Dane Warren opted for double points and capitalised well. So he and Webster going toe-to-toe, 12 points apiece following round 2, still 1 heat to run. Maloney, McMillan, Myers and Shepherd.
Oh, Dane Warren, absolute master of that Mustang. Almost drifting the entire circuit there, so yeah, he's definitely got that setup dialed and yeah, is feeling very confident. So just see if I don't think. Oh, so Warren did opt to go double points on that.
This is an interesting heat because Maloney's got 1 point, McMillan's got 2 points, Myers has got none, Shepherd's got 1. So all 4 of these guys could do with a race win here.
Yeah, and one of them will definitely win. So this will be.
That's great insight.
That's right. I predict someone will win.
And there'll be honest over here.
So yeah, so this will be a good points haul for some of our consolation drivers so far. I think Myers was pretty unfortunate. I think in Heat 1 did have an accident, so
when he put it in the fence in the Joker lap.
That's exactly right. So it was Myers that did put it in the fence. So hopefully, a bit better luck this time, and I reckon I'll see him at the front.
Well, let's see. Gate number 1, which has been so good to our drivers today, will be held by Maloney. Last 2 heats, Gate 1 has not worked out particularly well. Stenberg finishing last and Briggs finishing in third. Other than that, though, Haber won, Gilliam won, Webster won. It's actually looking a bit 50-50 at the moment between Gate 1 versus the rest. It's a pretty decent run into that first corner, so it all relies on your actual throttle application coming from the green. If you get it down poorly, well, it doesn't matter if you're on the inside, because everyone else will be ahead of you. Here we go. Let's see if Stenberg can convert. Sorry, Maloney. Same team, different driver. Ooh, a little bit tight between Maloney and McMillan. They actually touched there off the launch, but check out into turn 1. Big dive, big run, Brady Myers. And Corey Shepherd was just a little bit too tentative. He led them, and now he's lost.
Yeah, Corey Shepherd definitely getting that run off the line. He probably put about a car length on the rest, but unfortunately just dipping that little bit too wide there. As you can imagine, not only trying to accelerate off cold tyres, but also needing to brake as well. So, yeah, a bit unlucky there for Corey Shepherd, but I reckon he'll have a bit more pace at the moment. So we are seeing Brady Myers sitting at the front there. Interesting to see if he's going to go for an early joker. He probably wants to keep that clean air at the moment, so he's choosing to stay in. We've seen
Maloney comes, McMillan comes. Maloney was very much in reaction to Myers because he came very late and he was quite slow, it would seem, as he turned it through the top of the jokers because McMillan gave him a big old shove in the back end, which shoved Maloney well clear. McMillan's dropped quite a few car lengths through there as a result.
Sorry, Ryan, just caught off screen as well. Corey Shepherd again running wide there on turn 1. So, yeah, unable to... Seems to have lost that brake pedal a little bit in that turn 1. So he's probably lost another second there to the front. But I don't think we'll be able to grab a replay on that. He will have to try and pull a bit of time to Brady Myers. But Brady Myers looking pretty strong there at the moment. As we go to a modem simulation replay.
This will be it. Corey Shepherd through turn 1 is struggling. You've got to make sure you get the turn right for this corner because it's very dependent on that turn, and you run wide and he just continues to grab you and pull you into that grass, which can be tricky to get out of as Corey Shepherd now takes his joker and falls behind McMillan as a result of that.
Maloney with the run, so into turn 3, Brady Myers just holding him off, and they just collide. I think we're looking slightly further down in the field at the moment, but
yeah, there you go.
Maloney has pulled a big run there on Brady Myers. I thought that was going to be pretty safe at the moment, so they have all done their joker lap.
Just missed that as they came out of pit lane. Maloney trying to stay ahead, and Myers said, I want a race win. Yeah, I was trying to think of something. Yeah, there you go. I was trying to think of something like that, and it wasn't coming to me. So 1 to go in this heat. Brady Myers now galloping away at the front, ahead of Maloney, and then McMillan and Shepherd have pretty much settled their disputes in 3rd and 4th.
Maloney just being so strong there.
Myers sorted off the racetrack. It's not done with yet as he slides back onto the pavement. And now Maloney's all over him, into the back of him. Gives him a helping hand down through the S's. Across the top of the hill. Myers can't let the pressure get to him because he'll slip up and slide and cost himself a lot of time. He slid a bit. But so did Maloney. Does he defend turn 10? No, he doesn't. Does Maloney attack? He does. Late dive up the inside. That's not pulling up. Straight through the corner onto the grass. And back onto the track he goes. Here comes McMillan around his outside. So Maloney going for the big look. Going to lose out a spot. Brady Myers will win the heat. McMillan snatches 2nd from Maloney. Shepherd in 4th.
Yeah, Maloney throwing down the dice there. Yeah, such a big late break there and going pretty shallow into the corner. He did get a very good drive there out of the sweeping right-hander. So, yeah, a bit unfortunate there for Maloney. Great work for Brady Myers getting that win. So we'll just head to the spreadsheet of truth. Maloney pretty confident in that as well. He was opting to go double points, which brings us into round 3, Ryan. So both Warren, both Webster have used their double points. Williams has also used his double points as well. And Stewart has not. Stewart struggling in round 1. Not too bad in round 2. So Stewart probably the slowest of the 3. Of the 4 at the moment.
Yeah. We'll see how this final heat goes in rounds. Sorry, this is the first heat now of round 3. Maloney opted for double points, which was why he was so aggressive trying to take that win away from Myers. In the end, would have been best served to just sit and take that 2nd place because in the end it cost him, well, he would have gained 6 more points if he'd won. Instead, he gets 2 points.
Yeah, so
Job-
with...
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Job Stewart, Cooper Webster, Kobe Williams, Dane Warren, our 4 drivers for this one. Interested to see how Stewart, Webster, and Warren go up against each other.
Yeah, we have seen some pretty... obviously, Warren the one to beat. Fastest in qualifying as they're just lining up at the moment, Ryan.
Well, Webster and Warren are 2 wins apiece, 12 points apiece. They're going to be separated after this race. Stewart and Warren react poorly. Webster and Williams break free. That's the first time tonight Williams has actually got a lot well away from the line well. And suddenly, Stewart and Warren with some work to do.
Yeah, pretty uncharacteristic there from Dane Warren. He's been really great off the start for the past couple of heats. I think he might have been caught off guard there, but Cooper Webster making the most of it. Where he wants to be at the front, so be curious to see how he goes with his Joker placement.
Here comes Warren, looking at the back as Stewart's got a run on Kobe Williams. Does he look for the dive at turn 10? Yes, he does. On the brakes, oh, Williams grabs the grass and goes straight.
Yeah, pretty unfortunate for Kobe Williams. Not seeming to be having much luck in any of these races at the moment. He's such a talented driver at the moment. Does opt to head around the back and get his Joker lap done, as we've seen Webster as well. And does look like Dane Warren is staying out there.
So the only driver to stay out there is Dane Warren. Webster, Stewart, and Williams taking the Joker at the end of lap number 1. See what Warren can do with clean air, because he's got some ground to make up after that poor opening lap. Gifted a spot as Williams went off the track, and it also checked up Stewart, and he was alongside him before Stewart opted to take the Joker rather than run side by side through the last corner and potentially even into turn 1. There is Webster and Stewart, and Warren out front has come to take his Joker here.
Yeah, Warren definitely uncharacteristic there, as we see even with his late way in, Cooper Webster definitely with the inside of the corner though. Dane Warren exiting so quick there out of that pit lane.
Webster takes it away. Good job.
Yeah. But in saying that, Warren definitely within striking distance at the moment, almost on that rear bumper of Webster's Mustang.
12 points apiece. You'd say they're both doing pretty good at the moment in terms of looking at getting into that semi-final. Can't afford to throw it away with a collision. But this will settle the tie-break at the top between these two. So coming out at the top of this heat is also very important, as Webster defends, Warren looking left, right, and eventually tucking into the racing line through the chicane. 1 lap to go, this time by. Job Stewart sat back there in third, just watching on.
Yeah, great defending there by Cooper Webster. Absolutely planting it directly in the center of the track there on most of these corners at the moment. So Dane Warren not finding a way through at the moment. Webster has not given an inch.
Look at the wheel work from Stewart as he fights that car. It's constantly trying to get away from him, and it's a constant battle to wrestle it around what is a very short 2.8 kilometer racetrack. Officially 10 turns to it, but still calling this one turn 10 and 10A and 10B as Webster drives down the middle of the racetrack, and Warren props it back to the outside. Does he use the bumper through the chicane, or does he settle for second? He tries to give him a shot coming out of the corner, but Webster gets the run and the momentum, so Cooper Webster then will emerge ahead of Dane Warren, who finds the fence just
crosses the line there ahead of just saving it there from Job Stewart. So very lucky there, risking a lot of momentum there into that last corner and not throwing it away, thankfully. So bit unfortunate there from Job Stewart. So close yet so far. I reckon that was only about less than a tenth in that as they both crossed the line with Dane Warren flying through the air.
Yeah, trying to commit to that last corner to find something, but that's why you can't go flat through the last corner. So Pink, Freya, Haber, and Stenberg are our 4 drivers for this one.
Just seeing them come through at the back now. On board with Luke Pink in the Valvoline Mustang. Yeah, you can see there's a few options here for this chicane as they're coming through, but you can see definitely the place that you want to be, shown by Cooper Webster, is directly in the middle, because you definitely can't try and get the crossover, and you definitely can't really run down the inside. So it's a pretty tight part of the circuit here as we see our 4 line up.
One, two, three. Where's number 4? There he is.
So expecting...
And here we go, ready for our next heat. There we go, there's the launch. And it was slow initially, but the second phase was beautiful for Harley Haber. Freya in second, and then it's Luke Pink and Stenberg side by side. Pink grabs the curb, almost slides into Stenberg, has to catch it, and that gives Stenny the run into third.
Yeah, Harley Haber, again, so strong with these NASCAR launches. Absolutely putting it on the front there. It takes a lot of curve and massive slide there as he comes around. So, yeah, pushing very early. We're seeing these 4 all pretty close together at the moment. Luke Pink there with a bit of a slide and losing a bit of ground there to Kurt Stenberg. So, a bit unfortunate for Luke Pink. Might opt to choose to pull his Joker in pretty early. Just see how we go through with Harley Haber. You'd be expecting him to stick out, and you'd be expecting Tom Freya now
to pit. Stenberg stays out, Pink stays out. It's all about getting that clean air. If you're behind someone, you're going to want to take the Joker. If you're leading the race, you're going to want to wait until a few behind have already taken it.
Harley Haber definitely has put in some early pace, but Kurt Stenberg again showing a bit of mid-race pace. He's not that far off at the moment. Definitely not within striking distance, but definitely if we see a mistake by Haber, Stenberg will be all over him.
Haber hasn't taken his Joker yet either. His Joker as in his double points race. So if he takes it now, or if he opted to take it now, opportunity to potentially go level at the top of the points. You have to elect before you start the race when you're taking your double points effort.
As we see,
he and Pete both in the Joker.
Yeah, as you see Stenberg out, you'd almost think that the double points are waiting to the last minute, because then you'll have a really good idea of who you're up against and how they've been placing, because we haven't really seen too many accidents. It's more really coming down to the pace on track at the moment. As we're seeing Stenberg at the front at the moment.
I think it's more looking at who's in the field with you and looking at which one of your 5 heats across the night is going to give you your best chance of winning.
Yeah, there was some definite confidence shown there by Webster and Warren and Maloney. Expecting Stenberg to come in.
He should filter out somewhere around Freya and Pink. Haber, I don't think, will be under threat from him. But we'll see as he just pinches it up on the front, springing it through the Joker lap, and Haber will be well clear of him. But watch this re-entry relative to Freya and Pink. Going to be just ahead of Freya. So Stenberg rejoins in second place.
It's actually pulled these 3 up behind Harley Haber pretty close together now. We'll see as they come around the sweeping right. could see a bit of a last lap attack here.
Stenberg is starting to really look under pressure. Just 1 point to his name. One of just 4 drivers with only 1 point so far. Still a couple heats to run in this round as well. As Haber slow through the chicane. Stenberg really closes up as Pink and Freer ran side by side for a moment. Checkered flag. Harley Haber will win. Stenberg picks up 2 points. Freer and Pink 3rd and 4th.
Beautiful work there by Harley Haber. So just seeing now whether or not he's gambled his double, which does not look like. So we'll be waiting for a few of the later rounds. So he will be up against Webster, Burton, and Williams. So yeah, round 4 is going to be pretty tough for him. So you'd almost think that he'll have to wait until round 5 to gamble on his double points. So we've got Myers, Burton, McMillan, and Shepherd coming up.
So Brady Myers at the moment is there he is. He's got 4 points to his name after going from last round in Heat 1 to first in Heat 2. He's just inside the top 8, halfway through our points racing section of the evening. Jake Burton, 3 points. He's level with guys. That'll bring him to a tiebreaker if they stay level. McMillan, also on 4 points. And Corey Shepherd needs to find a good race here. Just 1 point to his name after the first 2 rounds. This is the penultimate heat of round 3. And then 2 rounds to come after that.
So I'm just seeing if anyone has claimed or tried to claim double points here at the moment. Don't think any of these drivers that we've got have done.
It won't register until after the race.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Otherwise, if they had Google Docs open, they could have a look and go, oh, this person's using double points. If I'd have tip-checked them off the racetrack, then 0 points for them.
That's exactly right. So not only do you have to be pretty skilled here on the iRacing service, but also you also want to be pretty savvy here on Microsoft Excel.
Myers just... oh no, it's Myers and Burton side by side. They've got the reverse of each other in terms of paint schemes. Black and red versus red and black, and it's the red and black that wins of Brady Myers. Burton will follow him through in 2nd place. McMillan and Shepherd. Shepherd again, he's wide and one, loses out. McMillan goes through. How about the crossover from Burton? On the slide, on the brakes, off the track.
Yeah, Burton was definitely not going to make that, so he will be coming in for the rejoin and will have to slide up a little bit. Whether or not he slows it up on the racing line there. Yeah, great work there by Brady Myers getting that run through. Just seen him come around the
and sidestep it as well and not get cleaned up by Burton's car.
Yeah, we did see from race control as well, there was a very, very short hold. It would have only been a couple of seconds, so potentially catching a few of these guys out a little bit by surprise.
Jokers, lap 1, McMillan and Burton.
Yeah, so...
and Burton's giving McMillan a big shove in the Joker. They're side by side, they touch! McMillan spins, Burton slides. We've missed it on the camera. But that Armco barrier finally caught them out as McMillan and Burton quickly run out of room. And it all stemmed as I reckon Burton was hoping McMillan wasn't going to pit. He shaped up like he wasn't going to come in, and then he did. Right there's the touch, pushes McMillan wide, then they're side by side, and right there, the Armco says, get out of the way.
Yeah, a bit of a cheeky move there. I suppose it is almost rallycross style racing. There is a little bit of a biff and a barge there. Just seeing Brady Myers come through now, so he'll be opting to choosing the Joker. Corey Shepherd staying out there. Will be interesting actually to see where it does put Brady Myers in relation to Corey Shepherd, because he did have a bit of a gap on him at the time.
Well, that contact with Burton and McMillan has cost them in terms of outright ability to win this heat outright, because as you see, Brady Myers rejoins comfortably ahead of Burton. After that, Corey Shepherd, only driver yet to take the Joker lap. Myers might have this one. Recovering well from a poor start to the night.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think Myers is still looking pretty comfortable at the moment, but we are just seeing Corey Shepherd now come through 10A and 10B. Nice and smooth there on the brakes. Just see that gap back there to Brady Myers. We'll be expecting to see him come through, rocketing down that hill. So just see there in the foreground, Myers coming through now, and great pullback there from Jake Burton by the looks of it. He's pulled that gap all the way back to Corey Shepherd. You could see there was a pretty big from that incident earlier with McMillan.
He's all over the back of it, isn't he? Through the S's. It's a roller coaster ride around this Road Atlanta circuit, especially so on this shortened version as Shepherd slides out of the sweeper. Is Burton close enough for a dive? These 2 points are crucial for Shepherd. Burton's looking. He's left the door open, Shepherd. Too kind. Way too kind. And Burton's going to take it away. So Brady Myers out front will win the heat. Burton will take second, and Corey Shepherd has not brought his aggressive game to tonight, it would seem. McMillan home in fourth.
Yeah, definitely Burton, by the looks of it, channeling his inner Scandinavian, his rallycross, owing back to his rallycross roots there by, a little bit of contact there. Nothing too cheeky, thankfully, but definitely pushing his way through on a few of these Mustangs. As
Jake Burton opted for the double points in that one.
Also receiving a penalty as well. So
he went for double points, received the penalty for that contact with McMillan, and as a result gets bumped back a spot. So instead of picking up second place points haul and getting 4 points, he picks up third place's points haul and gets 2 points.
There we go. Race control sounding pretty fair with that. They're pretty confident with the decision handed down. So we're just looking towards Heat 12 of Round 3. Caruso, Gilliam, Briggs and Maloney. So seen some pretty good pace early on from Maloney, as well as Caruso as well. So both of them finishing, having a couple of second places. So we're looking for some pretty good pace from those two.
There is a logjam around 8th place, which is the point in which we cut the field in half and send half of them home. So a lot of drivers need to find something in this last heat here, and then our last 2 rounds with 2 more races for each driver. Kobe Williams, the only driver yet to get a point. Adam Briggs is 1 point, but he's lining up for his 3rd race now.
Yeah, definitely Kobe Williams having some pretty mixed luck. He's definitely shown a lot of pace there, but a few little accidents here and there have just unfortunately hampered his campaign a little bit.
Kobe's fast, but I think tonight is a bit of an experience builder for him. Obviously did well in the Just Send It race to book his spot, but these are some of the best guys in the country, and Kobe is still relatively new to all of this as a whole, a very young kid as well. So I don't think you'd have him pegged as one of the favourites to take out the night, But if he can steal some points and steal a result against one of our big names, it'd be a good night out for him. As Race Control just making a note to the drivers before we start this race, explaining the penalty. And honestly, it's letting these tyres cool down a lot more than these guys want.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I was actually going to say, I think my rig is as old as Kobe Williams that I was using on Friday, which is potentially half the reason why I was 8 seconds off the pace. But as they say, a good tradesman doesn't blame his tools.
Yeah, they do. Now they are finally able to go. We asked the 29 to pull back before we gave the all clear. That was Maloney. He'd crept too far forward. Green flag is out. Who gets the jump? Jordan Caruso reacts best. Adam Briggs, though. How's that secondary phase? Drawing alongside, maybe even ahead of Caruso through turn 1. 2x2. And Adam Briggs actually falls behind Gilliam, who gets into the back of Caruso. Sends him for a wild ride, and he somehow keeps it on the racetrack, and they're all checked up. This is ugly, and there's contact. Adam Briggs ends up off the track. Race Control have decided that was a little bit unruly, and we're going to try this again.
Yeah, almost like horses out of a gate. Just a little bit too much contact. I think people were probably being held up on the start line had brought the nerves up a little bit. Unfortunately, therefore, just trying to
all of them.
Yeah, unfortunately for all
they
of
were
them,
just
but it
too close together through turn 1. There was always going to be drama down at 3, and Gilliam's got such a pace advantage, I think, outright over Briggs and Maloney.
Yeah.
Caruso was a little bit slower than he expected. That's why he went from 4th to 1st, almost. Tried to go from 4th to 1st, but Caruso's car was in the way.
Yeah, and Caruso also did cut the track as well, getting a slowdown, but as he did receive that slowdown, 2 cars collided, or the rest of the field were colliding into each other, so just looking at this restart now.
Alright, let's try it again. Final heat, round 3. Take 2. Who gets the launch this time? Caruso. But secondary phase this time goes to Maloney. I tell you what, Briggs and Caruso, their 2 launches were almost identical. It's Maloney that found the big improvement. He leads them out of turn 1. Gilliam's the big loser. He's 4th this time. Briggs, his line was majorly compromised into 3. He was really slow. It's allowed Gilliam to his outside. And this is sketchy, side by side through the S's.
Just seeing him come through now. Actually, Ryan, I was just pulling up the track map. For short, 10A and 10B are actually still the same, even in the short sense.
Welcome to America and cornering name. Let's see who takes the Joker here on lap 1. Top 2 going to stay out. Gilliam's going to come in, and Briggs, because of that, will also stay out on the racetrack.
Exactly right. Americans with their turn names and their street names. Definitely they call their street names Street 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, not very creative bunch, are they? As we'll give them credit, though, because these cars are a lot of fun to drive.
Easy to find your house.
Is it?
Yeah, well, because then you know that if you live on 2nd Street, you've just got to go past 1st Street, but not as far as 3rd Street. Just seeing them come through now. Talking numbers, turn 5 there.
Gilliam fighting it. Just about controlling it in terms of the slide. Top of the rev range for 3rd gear as well. As he powered out of that corner. Back down to, I reckon that's 1st gear through the chicane. It's really slow. And Caruso's taken the Joker. So was Adam Briggs, who I think might have almost grabbed the fence. Turn 1, Caruso rejoins. Where's Gilliam? Behind him.
Yeah, Gilliam just a little bit too far back at the moment, but we'll just see him as they go through this twisty section of 2, 3, and 4. Seeing at the front there, Jake Maloney with a... Obviously have not taken the Joker yet, but sitting pretty comfortable out of the front there, so the race is really playing into his hands at the moment.
Expect Maloney in this lap. Should be an exciting rejoin for him in the vicinity of Caruso and Gilliam. This race reasonably important for Maloney.
Great work by Maloney, absolutely pulling that car up and getting it rotated through as we just see
Caruso will be ahead of him.
Caruso
Gilliam
coming through.
will be just behind him.
Yeah, these three are bunched pretty well together at the moment there, but still a couple more laps to go.
Nope, this is the last lap.
This is the last lap.
Adam Briggs off the back of them. Briggs is now going to join Williams in almost must-win scenarios in our final 2 rounds. Because he'll pick up no points on this one. He's already only on 1 point as it stands. How's the slide for Maloney out of there?
Yeah, I think Maloney losing a little bit of momentum there coming out, so that'll put him too far back there. So it does look like our 4 finishers have had their places set.
Jordan Caruso will pick up the heat win, and that's his first heat win of the night, ahead of Maloney, Gilliam, and Briggs.
Great there, great work by Caruso. So unfortunately with 2 second places in round 1 and round 2, so be pretty amped up now to notch a win up.
So, after 3 rounds, Cooper Webster, 16 points, 14 points for Warren, 12 points for Harley Haber, who has yet to take his double points round, 8 points apiece for Brady Myers and Jordan Caruso. That's 5 people. 5 points for Jake Burden, 7 points for Gilliam, I missed him, so that's 7 drivers. And then on 5 points, Four points. Nick Millen on 4 points is our 8th place driver at the moment. The magical spreadsheet hasn't sorted them automatically. And my brain couldn't keep up with that. But that should be your top 8 at the moment, with 2 rounds left to run.
So we'll see, Brady Myers coming off a win in round 2 and round 3, so we'll be looking pretty confident at the moment. He seems to have his setup pretty well dialed.
So, Tom Freer, Corey Shepard, Adam Briggs, all in this heat. And also Brady Myers. Now, Briggs, Shepard, and Tom Freer are all outside of the 8 at the moment. Or they do not want to leave it to the final heat. So this is extremely important for these guys. In fact, if Briggs fails to score some points, he will be mathematically out of it heading into the last heat. Brady Myers is making these 3 wait an awful long time.
He's definitely cruising around, taking his time there. So by the looks of it, he will be through to the semi either way. So
No,
he won't be.
not even close. He's in the spot at the moment, but that big 0 in round 1 does mean he can't rest comfortably quite yet.
Also
First
starting
round
from that 4.
of heat 4, first heat of round 4, is a very even start from all 4 drivers. Shepard did not convert nicely. Myers will lead them through 1, still side by side between Briggs and Freer, who keep it off each other. Now they're leaning on each other again up the run through 2 and into 3. Freer just loses out.
Great work by Freer by just keeping it off there from Adam Briggs. that's really pulled Corey Shepherd back into this this race for second place at the moment.
Look at that. Sliding out of the top. Freer and Shepherd. Adam Briggs watching his mirrors as those two slide around the track, and Brady Myers looking back and thinking this is easy at the moment. Got a handy little gap over them all as Corey Shepherd peels into the Joker lap.
Yeah, just seeing our top three at the moment. All looking pretty comfortable at the moment there. Brady Myers getting the good run. He was on the outside gate, which didn't disadvantage him. He really launched that Mustang off the line. Maybe getting in the head of the other drivers by making them wait there on the start line while he did a quiet out lap. So just seeing a bit of a run wide there by Tom Freer. Not too much at the moment. Just seen him come over the crest now, so we'll see who opts now for the Joker lap. So we've seen there'll be Briggs coming in now, as well as Tom Freer. So we'll just see how they're going to come out compared to Corey Shepherd. We're just seeing Corey Shepherd just on that last corner now, thundering over the start-finish line. He might be a little bit too far back by the looks of it. So it looks like our positions will remain the same.
Brady Myers just waiting for his last trip to make it to that Joker lap. He'll take it just before he hits that last trip around the circuit. Briggs is looking comfortable in second, Freer and Shepherd behind him. Not really close enough to make a move, and you'd imagine Brady Myers will emerge pretty comfortably ahead of these guys as well. And a win here will do Myers wonders in terms of his comfort for the semi-final. Will pretty much put him as a lock-in, depending on how the double points pan out for everyone else. He does rejoin clear. For Adam Briggs, this is pretty important to pick up another couple of points now, just to keep himself in the equation after recording 2 zeros already. And if he took his double points here, this will work out very nicely for him. But of course, you won't know that until they reach the checkered. By the way, in that last heat, there were no jokers taken. Double points taken.
Double points.
I mean,
the Microsoft Excel version of a Joker.
Yeah. Brady Myers. That's 3 heat wins in a row for him. Adam Briggs home in second, ahead of Freer and Shepherd.
Yep. Pretty clean race by these 4, so great work there by Brady Myers, lodging another win. Also opting for double points there by Brady Myers, so pretty strategic idea there. So that is going to put him at 16 points now, but obviously that was the only heat of round 4 so far. So
how's that? 3 of them took double points there. Myers obviously with the double points picking up the win. Freer took it as well, so he picks up 2 points. Shepherd took it, but picked up no points. Briggs didn't, so he's still got it up his sleeve for the last round.
That's exactly right. We're just hearing over the voice, the radio with race control as well, so just talking about with Brady Myers, he was probably leaning on the line a little bit by making a slower outlap. So the timer is on. When they call your name out, you really do have to get out onto track pretty much straight away. They definitely don't want people holding up proceedings and trying to gain just a little bit of a tyre advantage.
Copy Williams, Harley Haber, Cooper Webster, Jake Burton. 4 drivers for this one. Webster, Burton, and Haber are all looking pretty comfortable, although Burton is on the cusp. Williams, well, he desperately needs something here.
Yeah, and looks like both Haber and Webster are both undefeated at this stage, so one of them will need to
Relinquish that spot.
There will only be one bridesmaid.
No double points are there from Haber yet.
That is true.
If I'm him, I'm not taking it now up against Cooper Webster, that's for sure. Oh! Apparently Webster's got a backup. There we go. Now we're getting ready to go. Green flag for the drivers. Webster went nowhere. Haber gets a jump again from Burton and Williams.
Yeah, not too sure what's going on there for Webster. Either stalled it or not had the car in gear.
After reversing it, might have put it in neutral, not first.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's given Haber the advantage there. Definitely where it wants to be now. With does have Jake Burton in tow at the moment. Jake Burton a few lengths back now. Not really close enough to make a move. Kobe Williams getting a reasonably good start against some of these previous winners there, sitting in 3rd place as we just see him come around that turn 5 sweeper.
Webster already closing up to Williams after the, I think, sluggish would be an understatement, start. As Burton opts not to look for clean air and he stays on the track behind Harley Haber. Cooper Webster on the background comes in to take his joker.
Yeah, just seeing Jake Burton as well has put a fair few lengths now. He seems to be pretty strong on this part of the circuit, so bit of slide from the car. Unfortunately, he'll a little bit too much attitude, going pretty hard over these curbs. Not forgetting that these NASCARs sit quite low and super stiff as well, so can't get too aggressive with him as we just see him power through turn 5. Which turns into turn 9 coming down the hill into 10A and 10B. Expecting to see Haber stick it out and probably see Jake Burton now will... No, both of them now into the pits. All 3 of them.
Do they all get through their mistake free? Yes, they do. Williams maybe a little bit wider than he wanted. And slaps the fence for good measure. There's Cooper Webster. After the poor start and early joker, he will jump Williams, but he will still be quite a way off the back of Burton and Haber.
Yes, it does look like Webster has closed. It's definitely closed the gap now to Kobe Williams. He'll need to try and get around him as quick as he can. Bit of damage minimization there. Seeing Kobe Williams going very wide there. A lot of attitude from that Mustang.
Be interesting to see if Haber opted for his double points here, because if he didn't, like I reckon he might not have because he's up against Webster, he'll be wishing he did because Webster took him out of the equation before they barely even got to turn 1. And if he did take it, well, that confidence to perform against Webster, who's also undefeated, is going to pay off pretty well here.
Yeah, I do think Haber will be pretty fortunate in the next heat. He is up against a few of the backmarker drivers, so setting up really well to get a perfect score at the moment. So we're seeing Webster's through on Kobe Williams. Trying to hunt down Jake Burton there.
Not close enough. That mistake is going to cost him. Can't afford to miss the launch in these races with only 4 laps to recover as Jake Burton slides his way into the chicane. Gathers it up, slides on the exit as well for good measure. Out front, Harley Haber gonna get that checkered flag For the fourth time tonight, Jake Burton second, Webster loses for the first time, picks up just 1 point, and Kobe Williams is fourth again.
Yeah, very strong, super strong braking there by Jake Burton. Had all four tyres of that Mustang sliding down that hill at around 250 k's an hour. It's a pretty tough braking zone. So, yeah, Jake Burton really flexing his muscles on that.
Haber did not take his double points. Looking at the points at the moment, Webster's still got the lead, but Haber, double points up his sleeve, might take that away from him in our final round. 2 heats still to run. Dane Warren, part of those 8 drivers yet to run in round 4. Andrew Gilliam, also a part. But he's only got 7 points after mistakes in race 2 and race 3. So he could do with a bit of a confidence booster in this one.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we're just looking at Gilliam, Stewart, Maloney and Stenberg. So we've seen a bit of pace from Stenberg in a few of the earlier races. So he's had a 2nd place and a 3rd place. So he can definitely notch up a win. Great.
He'll be hoping not to complete the bingo card with a 4th place to add to that 1st, 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, exactly right. Just looking at a few of these liveries. Awesome work here with these. Seeing these different takes on a few of these Mustangs.
We've got 5 drivers on 3 points at the moment.
Yeah, so it's almost a race for the back at the moment to make these finals coming through. Just seeing them line up now.
There we go. Looking for the start. Holds him a long time. Now we go. That's a squeeze for Job Stewart between Gilliam and the Trans-Tasman machines on his left. Maloney will lead them through one and turned around. Kurt Stenberg cops a whack from Gilliam. And we're going to reset them.
Very lucky there for Kurt Stenberg. Gilliam and Kurt Stenberg with that early incident. So get him around again and start from scratch.
Yeah. Should let him race, make that mistake, then that's on you and cop the penalty for it. Would certainly spice it up, but a little bit harsh on the drivers that make the mistake after turn 1. I don't get that reset to save them.
Yeah. Thankfully, only 2.8 Ks for Road Atlanta, so these outlaps are thankfully pretty short.
Yeah, I'd be absolutely livid with Clint if this was Bathurst and he was resetting the grid.
or Nürburgring or something like that, but
oh god, don't even.
So, Gillian not making the start now, so it will be just the 3.
Yeah, that's him done. That's the 2nd time I think he's caused a reset. That's why. Remember, into the back of Caruso last round.
That's exactly right.
So Gilliam is going to record no points. That blows open the race for P8 in the semi-final hunt. As we walk it away from the line, Maloney getting a launch again. Stewart 2nd, Stenberg 3rd. Those 3 are almost in the same position as they were last lap. This time, Stenberg is going to watch on as his teammate Maloney goes with a spin. No reset this time. Yeah, no, never mind. There it is. You know, I don't think anyone was to blame for that one.
Yeah, they were really going for that same track space there. Is really
Stenberg,
tricky.
yeah, turned into Maloney, which unsettled his car and triggered... Stenberg turned into Stewart, which triggered Maloney's car to get unsettled as Stewart's angled towards him for a moment. But basically, that was a big old dolloping of netcode.
Yeah, that's right. So doesn't look like any penalties are being handed out at this stage. Just awaiting race control. I don't
Wouldn't
think they'll be
expect so
handing
for
out.
that one.
Yeah, or it will end up being a 2.
Yep, there's confirmation from race control. Alright, third time's a charm, right? For this heat. I mean, all these drivers are going to get points at this stage. I wonder if Gilliam's already used up his double points. If he had not, he better be hoping he hadn't chosen it then. Yeah, Gilliam had not used his double points yet, so I wonder if... Oh, and he did! That was his double point selection, and he gets a 0 for it. He doesn't even get to do the race. So Gilliam is really under pressure. These three are trying again. This time, on the third time of asking, Stewart gets the launch.
Yeah, Maloney had a pretty great launch there, but it did look like Stewart just had the legs there off the line. Pretty clean so far through the first couple of turns there. Not wanting to get too close to each other after 2 false starts. Stewart there with the 2 TDR cars of Stenberg and Maloney. Lots of twitching there as they come around that big turn 5 sweeper into turn 9, downhill into 10A, 10B.
It should be a relatively straightforward heat, this one. 2 Trans-Tasman racing cars, and only 3 in the field, so all of them are going to pick up points. As Maloney stays out, Stenberg pits, and Stewart pits as well. And by pit, I mean they take their Joker, which takes them through pit lane.
Yes,
One of the pit lanes.
yeah, Maloney getting a lot of clean air now, so he'll be making the most of this. Just checking through on previous results, so he's had a 2nd place, and yeah, so with 2 2nd places, not being able to notch up a win, so this will be his best chance so far to make the most of that.
Yeah, he's right on the bubble in 5 points. I think he is 8th at the moment.
Yeah, so he's definitely poised to for his best result so far. Unfortunately, using his double points earlier on in round 2.
As for Stenberg and Stewart, well, Job Stewart's got 3 points, which is a little bit surprising.
Just coming back to live pitches.
And that distracted me. Who else we got? Who else is in the field with Stewart?
So we've got Maloney leading Stewart, leading
Oh, yeah.
Stenberg, and unfortunate for Gilliam not
that's
making
right.
the start of the race.
So Stenberg and Stewart, they're both in the doghouse at 3 points at the moment. So this is a big race of both those drivers. And they'll be quite thankful there's only 3 of them on the racetrack, and it means they're not going to have that issue with the 4 cars creating more traffic and bodywork goes crunching into each other.
Yeah, just seeing Maloney and Job Stewart both pretty close together now, so looks like there'll be just showing a nose there. He has cut the course there. He's gonna have to slow down there, I think, for that slow down, but potentially might not have registered because he's still back on the tail there.
He's still right there with him for the race win. I don't reckon he's going to get there, though, as Stewart pulls out across the top into turn 10A, 10B. These 2 well clear of Stenberg, who's had a mistake somewhere as well, I think. Job Stewart going to take out the heat win from Jake Maloney, and Kurt Stenberg. Gilliam not scored in 4th position. One more heat left in our 4th round.
Just seeing, by the looks of it, Jake Maloney showing off a little bit there. Getting that TTR Trans-Tasman Mustang very sideways. Just see the feedback from the cars as they hit those curbs.
Dane Warren, Luke Pink, McMillan, and Caruso lining up for this one. Caruso and Warren looking pretty comfortable, but McMillan and Pink can both do with some points. Otherwise, they're going to be on the outside looking in, heading into our final rounds. Looking to settle the top 8 for our semi-finals. Other 8 can go home. And then once you're into our semi-finals, we're racing for position. Points aren't a factor anymore.
Yeah, some pretty fast pace shown by both Warren and Caruso, so rough, pretty close together on points here. Just
What a
checking
car that any of the drivers in our field, really. That's our entire field, of really known for driving. Which is, I think, leveled the playing field out quite a bit.
Yeah, we'll see as well. Warren in gate 1, we've seen, probably not in this heat, but in some of the previous heats, some pretty good results from gate 1. Unfortunately, this round, we have not seen a win from gate 1.
Can Warren change that story? Jordan Caruso gets the fantastic launch from gate 4 as McMillan bangs doors with Luke Pink off the line. Inside for Pink, outside for McMillan. They almost touch again. McMillan's going to win out in that battle. Warren right up on behind the rear spoiler for Caruso's car.
Oh, taking a lot of curb there by Dane Warren, so see how he comes through on that. So pretty strong battle for first and a pretty strong battle for third at the moment. Dane Warren does look like he is going to try and put a move down.
Hard on the defensive line is Jordan Caruso, not wanting to give this one up for Warren. Wonder if this is a double points for Caruso, maybe. Does he take the Joker and get into some clean air? No, he lets Warren take it, and he will take clean air. So will McMillan in 4th position, just double checking that Caruso hasn't already taken his Joker. My God, his double points at some point tonight. No, he hasn't, so this could be the one, and it could be why he was so defensive there on lap 1.
Yeah, so we do see that gap already to McMillan and Dane Warren. So Warren very quick there through that Joker lap. Just seeing Luke Pink is also a little bit off the pace there from Caruso. So it will be, as these the 2 cars out in front, we'll see how they come out at the end of their Joker there. Caruso
Luke
looking...
Pink hasn't taken his double points either today.
Yeah, exactly right. I think Luke Pink, knowing he was up against a whole bunch of pretty strong drivers at the moment, but yeah, definitely with Caruso and Dane Warren have been so quick tonight, as we've seen. We just see Caruso not opting for the Joker yet. He's going to try and get another lap down, and he'll be putting his Joker in on the last.
Taking the Joker, though, it was for Luke Pink, and he emerges ahead of McMillan, also without double points yet tonight. So a few drivers leaving it till the end. Haver, we know for sure, has left it till round 5. Don't know yet if any of these 3 who haven't have taken it in this one. Warren obviously took it earlier on in the evening too. Picked up a race win with it.
Yeah, so just seeing, just at the front here with Caruso coming through that chicane, so he will be pulling out for the Joker now. Just see where he lies now with Warren.
Gonna be pretty tight, I imagine.
Gee, Warren absolutely shooting past there. So Warren finding some
right.
pretty late pace there.
One of Caruso's made a mistake somewhere then.
Yeah,
Because Warren had taken the Joker from right on his back bumper on lap 1. Does rejoin second though. Well clear of Luke Pink, who's pretty comfortable ahead of McMillan.
Yeah, it does look like Luke Pink. He's got McMillan right on it, reeling him in at the moment as they just come through the big sweeper. McMillan's just going to be just a little bit too far back.
So this will be win number 3 for Dane Warren, accompanied by a second place in round 3. It's looking good for him tonight. Dane Warren going to take that checkered flag and he goes to the top of the points sheet. Caruso second, Pink third, and McMillan home in 4th. None of them took the double points that round.
Dane Warren just showing how much control he has over that Mustang. Pulling those amazing slides off there. Those NASCARs not having a great deal of steering luck there, so look at that slide as he comes through turn 5.
Alright, final round. This is the money round for the drivers. Looking at our top 8 as they stand. Dane Warren, he's through already with 18 points. Webster's through with 17. Haber's through with 16. Myers is through with 16. It's on behind them though. Caruso's on 10 points. Burton on 7. Gilliam on 7. Stewart on 7. So they're equal, 6th, 7th, and 8th. They're the 8 that will go through. The guys chasing them, Luke Pink, Tom Freer, Kurt Stenberg, Corey Shepard, Adam Briggs, and Kobe Williams. Williams won't be able to get there though. No, I take it back. If Williams... No, he's already second as double points. I was going to say, if Williams wins the heat and has double points, he could, but already taken that. So a lot to unfold. Our first heat of our final round is Burton, Caruso, Myers, and Williams. So Caruso will use double points. Brady Myers will use double points. Jake Burton will not. Kobe Williams will not. So Caruso and Myers with an opportunity to get a big points haul here. Caruso just to, put himself a little bit more safe with before the last couple heats of drivers, and Myers looking to nab the first place away, which will give him primary selection of Gates in our semi-final. Drivers set. First heat of our final round is Burton, Caruso, Myers, and Williams. Oh, it was a slow launch from all of them. Eventually we get there, and it's Myers who pops out ahead of the 3-wide action of Burton. Caruso and Williams is on the outside. Now it's just Caruso and Burton. Caruso gets a run out of the corner.
Yeah, Kobe Williams choosing just to sit back there, not wanting to go too hard in there. Just seeing him come through the sweepers. So, and we're just seeing Burton potentially looking up the inside there of Jordan Caruso, but having to pull him behind, almost taking the front out there of Kobe Williams. Just seeing him come through the sweeper now. Oh, massive slide there from Caruso of that purple Mustang. Very sideways as they come down into 10A and 10B.
There's a look for Jake Burton up the inside. Door ajar from Caruso, fights him back, and Williams going to get some benefit from that as he slips up ahead of Burton, who takes the left to the Joker and follows Caruso. Both of them running a little bit wide and costing themselves probably a couple tenths.
Yeah, that is absolutely going to play into the hands there of Brady Myers. You can see those three battling behind and taking each other's track position. So, yeah, the name of the game at the moment is definitely to have clean air, and that's exactly what Brady Myers has got. He's just got to keep it off the walls, keep it off the grass.
Myers wins this. It will do wonders for him.
I can hear the cogs turning in your head.
No, it's because I've just realised that Myers did take his double points last round.
Ah, okay, yep. Oh,
I mean, he won that race anyway, so it doesn't matter. He still benefited well from it. That was a mistake over him into the Joker. I think he went a bit too deep. See how it plays out as Caruso and Burton come flying by. Caruso picks off Williams, who's going to rejoin into the side of Burton. And Williams still through the grass, gets it back on track. And I reckon Burton might have redressed that one.
Yeah, great work there by Burton. It did look like he was just sticking back. It was a pretty hard contact.
He locked it up with Kobe.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Kobe Williams again. With 0 points on this round, so it does look like his night's going to be done.
Yep.
Just live pictures now.
I think this is a replay.
Oh, it is a replay, you're right.
Jake Burton locking it up and sliding into the side of Williams, who had turned it. Yeah, I think that one's more on Burton than Williams. Did a good job to address that, recognised his error. Out front with one to go, it's Brady Myers leading Caruso. Burton third, Kobe a long way back in fourth.
Just as we've come back into those live images as well, we've just seen Caruso has reeled a fair chunk of time into the back of Brady Myers, but it's starting to look like a little bit too late. Just trying to... Yeah.
Well, you'd imagine Caruso should be safer than his 10 points. He needed a lot of people to improve massively in this last round with our next 3 heats for him to lose out. So he should be happy with second here. It should give him 4 points with double points taken for him in this last round. Brady Myers wins Heat 1 of round 5. Caruso second, Burton third, Williams fourth.
Yeah, so great work again by Brady Myers. Knocking up a few wins now. So, yeah, wins in quite a lot of these heats now.
Confirmation of the double points for Caruso, putting him to 14. Myers, with his 4 for the win, goes to 20. And leads for now, but could get jumped by Haber. Could get jumped by Webster. Could get jumped by Warren.
And we will see as well, Haber will have to, being the last round, he will have to nominate his double points. So Haber will be definitely in for a big haul. Even if he doesn't get the win, he'll be poised no matter, as long as he doesn't come last, he'll be pulling in good points no matter where he comes.
So Maloney, Webster, Warren and Gilliam for this one. Maloney and Gilliam have both taken their double points already. Webster and Warren, we know Warren has. Cooper Webster, he has as well. So no double points getting paid out on this one.
That's exactly right. Sorry, I was actually looking at the sheet for Heat 19. So yeah, we do have Maloney, Webster, Warren and Gilliam. Gilliam, pretty unfortunate getting a non-starting penalty, trying to make a few points back. I've seen a little bit of pace with a couple of second places from Gilliam.
This will be really interesting between Maloney and Andrew Gilliam. They're both on 7 points. They're tied at the moment. Part of 3 drivers that make up 6th, 7th, and 8th on that 7-point threshold. If they record 0 points here, very easy for one of those guys behind to pick up a few points and knock them out of the 8. So Gilliam and Maloney going to have to battle very hard here, especially with the fact that they've got Kane Warren and Cooper Webster in this heat as well, who in theory, based off tonight's form, should run away. But let's see how it actually plays out. Green flag is out, and away we go. Cooper Webster says, see you later. Dane Warren says, please come back, as Maloney and Gilliam settle into second and third.
Yeah, absolutely. One of the best launches of the night there by Cooper Webster, so getting a pretty good jump on the rest of the field. Dane Warren is sitting at the back, and oh no.
That could be a red light, and it is. We'll reset this one. Maloney got out into the grass and couldn't pull it up. And as he rejoined, Warren had nowhere to go and ended up getting nudged into the concrete. This could be critical for Maloney. If he gets called to blame for this, he might have to go back to pit lane and take no further part. See what the adjudication is. I think Gilliam was to blame for an earlier incident in that first heat. We saw a reset being used and wasn't sent to pit lane. I think he was sent to the lane because it was his second infraction on that other heat. So we'll see what happens to Maloney here. He can't afford to pick up 0 points. He will be purely waiting on results to make it through the top 8. And Maloney has to come to pit road. 0 points for Jake Maloney, and he's on the brink as it is. So he will have a nervous wait over the last 2 heats once this one wraps up. Gilliam, Warren and Webster. Warren and Webster looking to take the P1 spot into the semi-final. Gilliam looking to grab as many points as he can. Again, Webster converts beautifully. This time, Warren able to hang with Gilliam.
Yeah, that's right. Seeing Warren there up the inside, so Gilliam will have to let him through there. Definitely seen a lot of strength here from Dane Warren and Cooper Webster, both right up the top of the points table at the moment. All three staying pretty tight in together at the moment. Webster with the advantage.
Webster v Warren. I wonder if this is something we'll see in the final. They've been so strong over the course of the evening. For Warren, it is 3 wins and a second. For Webster, it is 3 wins and a third. And they're both into the Joker lap.
Oh, Cooper Webster holding, not brake checking, but pretty hard on the brakes there. Yeah, and just holding up Dane Warren. So Dane Warren choosing to follow Webster into that Joker lap has definitely not paid off. That is going to cost him, but points are on offer for all the places at the moment, so it's probably, in the grand scheme of things, not too bad of a problem. It does look like he has the pace against Webster right on that back bumper there.
Shows how important the launch is, because it is proving to be a bit difficult to actually pass out there on the racetrack tonight. What about down into turn 10? It's one of the biggest opportunities to get it done. Does Webster defend? He does. Moves it over to the middle of the racetrack. Warren faked at the very end of the wide open portion of that little straight, but opted not to dive down on the brakes. Did Gilliam take to the Joker on this lap? Or has he left it one more time around? Think he's left it again.
Yeah, Cooper Webster just showing how strong of a defender he is, just parking it right in the middle of the road every time. Like Dane Warren not being able to get past, having to pull back again, so he is close enough, but not getting it past. We'll see as they come around the back of the circuit onto turn 5. Just see the cars from these two, no sliding or anything. They're really smooth throttle application. Oh, just as I say that, Dane Warren with a big slide, so he's just lost a bit of momentum there to Cooper Webster. We're just looking at the front of the field now with Andrew Gilliam. Oh, big slide coming out of that chicane there. He'll need to come in for his Joker. He will end up, by the looks of it, sitting behind Webster, and Warren.
Gilliam then taking that Joker. And where does he rejoin? It will be behind Webster and behind Warren by quite some way as well.
Yeah, we'll see how much the red mist comes over. So obviously being a heat race, it's not too important where they sit at the moment. It would be good. The gate numbers are actually going to be towards who with the highest points. So they're almost racing for gate position, you could potentially say, between Dane Warren and Cooper Webster. Yeah, Warren just too far back there into the chicane, so Webster notching up another win again, just as they cross the line. So we'll give our standings as Cooper Webster, Dane Warren, Andrew Gilliam.
And Maloney in the sin bin. Won't pick up any points. What does this do to our race for P1? Well, it means that Dane Warren and Brady Myers are going to fall a point short of Cooper Webster. So he'll get selection for the gate in semi-final number 1. Selection for the gate 1 in semi-final number 2 goes to second place, which, well, that's Myers and Warren. On countback, it should go the way of Myers with his 4 race wins. Although Harley Haber, if he picks up 8 points here, he could jump all 3 of them.
Yeah, that's exactly right there, Ryan. I was just actually looking between round 4 and round 5, the most favourable gate. You'd almost thought it was gate 1, but it's actually gate 2 has been the strongest gate with almost out of 1, 2, 3, 4 wins out of the last 6 races.
Was that? I missed that.
That's right. I was just using the power of Microsoft Excel and the power of arithmetic in my head. So in the last 6 races, in round 4 and round 5, gate 2 has had 4 wins.
That is a level of analysis that I aspire to reach. Good stuff. All right. Well, let's see how that works out this time then. Where's Haber going to line up for his gate? We know he's got double points up his sleeve for this one. We know he's undefeated today. And we know if he wins, he gets primary gate selection for semi-final 1. He's in gate 1. Adam Briggs will be in gate 2, Job Stewart gate 3, and Corey Shepherd in gate 4. And he's too far forward, so he'll get told to back up. He will try to then put it back in first, unlike what we reckon Webster didn't do when he had to reverse it up earlier on and went nowhere off the start. Penultimate heat of our final round. Can Haber go undefeated through our round format? Well, based off that launch, it might be hard to stop him. Well, leaps out ahead of Job Stewart, Adam Briggs into 3rd, and Shepherd 4th.
Yeah, no, pretty clean start there, so we won't be getting any restarts at all. So, yeah, Job Stewart, Adam Briggs almost within striking distance. He will have to keep it pretty clean, as we've just seen Job Stewart has just put a little bit of a reeled that gap in there on Harley Haber. We'll just see him as they come around the turn 5 sweeper.
He really closed up across that sweeper there. Was very strong through the middle section. Is he close enough to have a look at Haber? I reckon he's probably about a car length too far back. And it proves that he is, as he doesn't go for it. Very smart. Expect Haber to stay out and Stewart to pit and potentially Briggs to stay out. And that's exactly how it happens.
Yeah, Briggs definitely on his tail. Yeah, might have been a bit foolish of Stewart to put a move so early, because with everyone bunched so together, if it come off second best, or he had 2 cars right on his tail within only about 6 tenths behind him, as we just see Job Stewart back on the track. Adam Briggs and Harley Haber still pretty close together at the moment. They're all pretty even distances apart.
Yeah, they're all doing a good job on this one. Nice and restrained. For Briggs and Shepard, in terms of cracking the top 8, well, Adam Briggs needs a good performance, and Corey Shepard needs a good performance as well. They're both on 3 points. They could both do with a race win, to be honest with you. But not going to happen with the pace that Haber's got. Briggs has already used his double points up, and Corey Shepard has also already used his double points up. So, if they come home 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, well, they'll be going home. And with Haber and Stewart, 1st and 2nd now, 3rd and 4th for those two.
Yeah, just seeing Haber with a pretty good gap there to Stewart, so choosing to do his Joker lap on lap 2. Still got Adam Briggs and Corey Shepard out front at the moment. So they're both going to shuffle back. I think Job Stewart's, quite a bit off the pace there of Harley Haber. So Haber in a great position at the moment. Will be opting for double points. So this is going to be taken into the top of the point standings.
One to go. Harley Haber looking to go 5 from 5 in our round format to take prime selection for his gate selection. I don't know. In semi-final 1, which I would assume he'd be picking gate 1. Maybe he wants the racing line. Maybe he wants gate 4. That racing line will be rubbing in quite a bit by now, actually. So
And that's
that
exactly.
4th gate could be pretty decent.
Yeah, and we actually haven't seen a pretty much a straight up race between Haber and Webster, because we do remember as we cast back to, I think it was round 4, where Webster did make the mistake of not starting in gear. So these semi-finals are going to be pretty tightly contested.
We still won't, because Webster on 21 points will sit 2nd, which means he'll be in semi-final 2.
He will be.
With top selection for semi-final 2. Haber wins, Stewart 2nd, Briggs 3rd, Shepard 4th. Briggs and Shepard, I think, with that, their night comes to an end. For Haber, he goes to the top.
Yeah, great work again by Harley Haber.
Job Stewart also had double points up his sleeve for that one as well, by the way. And that means that Stewart moves to 11 points.
Yeah, he hasn't notched it into the double figures, so we've seen 2. Oh, yeah, 1, 2.
1, 2, 3, 4.
6. you can hear us counting there, but currently 6 drivers with points in the double figures at the moment. Still with heat 20 to go. McMillan, Frears, Stenberg, and Luke Pink.
Maloney is not in the top 8. So, that mistake getting thrown in the sin bin, that will be the end of his night. Our final heat then, McMillan, Pink, Freer, and Stenberg. All 4 of these guys are not in the top 8. Do any of them have double points up their sleeve? They need... All 4 of them are on 4 points. All 4 of them need 4 points to get level with Jake Burton and Andrew Gilliam, who are 7th and 8th at the moment.
It's actually looks that Stenberg has not used his double points, so both himself... Just hear us reading as fast as we can. Luke Pink
McMillan hasn't.
Yep, so it just leaves it Freer. So Stenberg, Pink...
Freer has. All right.
Freer has. So
Wow.
double points there for McMillan, Stenberg, and Luke Pink.
So if any one of those win, then Burton and Gilliam, they will go down to a tiebreaker of which Gilliam will win because he's got a race win. So if any of those 3 win, Burton's going home.
I hope everyone's keeping track at home with all this. I'm counting on both my fingers and
And
toes.
I've worked out too, if any of the double points guys finish second behind another double points guy, the one finishing second won't go through because they won't have a race win. Because on tiebreaker, Gilliam's got that race win from back in round 1. So basically, if you want to get into
win.
if you're Tom Freer, it's impossible. I know. Tiebreaker? I have no idea. Either way, we're going green for this one. It's a mathematical headache. And McMillan emerges out front. Luke Pink moves across to cover. Tom Freer and Stenberg's going to prop himself up wide. This is an all-out slugfest. You need to win this one if you want to get into the semi-final. That's the storyline I'm going with. It's the easiest one to stick with, I think. McMillan in that spot right now.
Yeah, we're just seeing McMillan sitting pretty well at the moment. Everyone's sitting in pretty tight. We haven't seen too much pace advantage from any of these 4 at the moment. So this will be shaping up to a pretty close race. Just coming over that kink in turn 9, down the hill into the chicane of 10A and 10B. See who takes the Joker.
You'd imagine it would be the second place guy, Luke Pink. And it is. All about the clean air. With Pink coming in, you're Stenberg in 30, you don't want to follow him and be up his back bumper, so you stay out, and you go about 8 car lengths, the next car in front, so you're all good to go. Tom Free also likes to stay out. I'm trying to work out what happens if
I'm leaving it all up to the power
one
of
of the
Microsoft
guys
Excel.
other than Tom Freer comes second, because I'll be level with Gilliam. He's got a race win. I don't know.
I'm
I
sure
don't
someone's
know.
keeping track of it. Yeah, not too much of any gaps there. We're just seeing McMillan, Stenberg, and Freer all maintaining their gaps at the moment. So it'll be more of a race to see. Looks like this race might be won now in the Joker lap. Who's going to have the best strategy there? So McMillan's peeling off
So is Freer.
so that is leaving Stenberg out.
And Luke Pink going to race around the final corner. Where's he come through relative to McMillan? The race to get into the semi-final. Pink on the racetrack. McMillan out of the Joker. Luke Pink emerges out front. But what about Stenberg? Hasn't taken his Joker yet. Can he emerge in the lead once he takes it? It makes it very nice and even that they're all on 4 points for us. At least they've done that for us.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Some pretty good pace there shown by Luke Pink. Unfortunately, not having a race win. Oh, we're just seeing a big slide there from Kurt Stenberg.
Actually surprised that Stenberg's in this position. I expected him to have a little bit more pace tonight. But it's not done with yet for him. He's still got a chance. He'll have to take the left now, and he does. Or rather, it's more of a straight than a left into the Joker. Don't go too deep. Cut it as much as you can. Get that power down. It looked a little bit sluggish trying to get the power down. And it might have been because Pink and McMillan are going to go blazing by. Stenberg trying to keep it on the outside. Can't do it. Goes off the track. It's Pink and it's McMillan doing battle to go into the semi-final.
Yep, both Freer off as well, so that's definitely Stenberg and Tom Freer
I've
done.
figured out that whichever one of these comes second will be going home because Gilliam will win on countback. So whoever wins this is the only one going through. But do they know that? McMillan's got to go for the dive, surely. He's about 2 car lengths back. Pink's got to be defensive. He's not too defensive. That's smart.
Oh.
McMillan locks it up, gives him a hit, gives him another hit. Can he get up the inside? A slide from Pink, but it checks up McMillan. He's into the back bumper. Can he get there? No, he can't. Luke Pink is going to hold on. He's going to win the heat, and McMillan hasn't even made it to the line.
Yeah, it actually looked like McMillan had ricocheted off and just fell short of the line there. So
There he has. That's unfortunate. So, alright, these are your top 8 going through to our semi-final. Cooper Webb's in this order. Harley Haber, Cooper Webster, Brady Myers, Dane Warren, Jordan Caruso, Joe Stewart, and then there's 3 drivers at 8 points. Gilliam, because he's got a race win. And then, who's got the most second places out of Jake Burton and McMillan? No, actually, it'll be McMillan because he's got the race win as well. So Burton goes home. Going home with Burton will be Jake Maloney, Adam Briggs, Corey Shepard, Tom Freer, Kurt Stenberg.
I think you're
and
right.
Kobe Williams. Yep, there we go. I wish this spreadsheet had ordered them into top 8 order for us, but, you know.
Unfortunately
enough, right?
for this live spreadsheet, I think if one of us ordered it in the correct order, it would actually turn it for everyone else. So, yeah, not wanting to ruin some pretty big mathematical equations going on here. Seeing a few of the cars, I'm just seeing Dane Warren pulling out. I think a few of these guys are going to do a bit of an expression session out on track. Unfortunate for a few of these guys, that'll be it. They've got some pretty good racing and a pretty good night there of bit of NASCAR fun, rallycross rules.
Yeah, exactly right. So this semi-final is going to be interesting. You get to select your gate. First and second will get top selection for semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. And then third place selects second in semi-final 1, fourth place second in semi-final 2, and then so on, so on. What I am interested to know is how is it going to play out once we get to our final? Because at this stage now, the points don't matter. Top 2 in the semi-finals will go through to the final. Everyone else says sayonara, as the points are now being officially ordered for us. But never fear, we've already done the work for you. I think, what would you say is the big shock then, going home? Burton? Stenberg?
I honestly would say it was probably Stenberg would be the biggest shock. Unfortunately, yeah, just having a bit of bad luck round 1. Yeah, both in round 1 and round 2 with a third and a fourth. Just not enough, unfortunately. Yeah, you just need that little bit more consistency, as we've seen from some of the other drivers there.
I messed up slightly. Andrew Gilliam goes through. McMillan does not.
Just seeing a few of the guys, so they've all had the chance to race each other now, so just pulling out a bit of an expression session.
Why is Gilliam not being given the spot? That's interesting. For some reason... Okay, so Gilliam and McMillan both have a race win. So then you've got to go back to second place finishes. Ah, McMillan has 2 of them. Gilliam has 1. So that is why McMillan will go through. And Andrew Gilliam will... No, I don't know. What is happening? Now they're both scored an 8th. No. Yes. That actually doesn't make sense because they've updated it now to show that They've updated it now to show that Gilliam is 8th. But on countback, it should be McMillan. McMillan has... Hang on. Ah. You know what? That 4 points for McMillan wasn't the race win, was it? It was second place with a double points added.
Yeah,
that is why. We got there in the end. We got our 8, and we'll have our grid for our semi-finals from those 8 drivers. Haber, Webster, Myers, Warren, Caruso, Pink, Stewart, Gilliam. Pursuit Sim Racing doing pretty well. Andrew Gilliam and Job Stewart.
Just hearing some of the gate nominations now. So I've just had Harley Haber nominate Gate 1. Just waiting for some of the other drivers to nominate their Cooper Webster also asking for Gate 1, which he won't be able to do.
2 semi-finals.
Oh, 2 semi-finals, sorry.
So Brody Myers will join Harley Haber in semi-final 1. And he will go from Gate 3. That is a weird selection. I would have thought it would be Gate 4. Give the racing line. Instead, he's going to be sandwiched.
This is almost like the AFL or NBA draft, isn't it?
Yeah. Dane Warren is also going Gate 3. So both second picks have opted for the third gate in the semi-final. What is it about Gate 3 we haven't clued onto?
We actually haven't seen a win. Oh, sorry. I'm actually incorrect. So Dane Warren did win from Gate 3 in the first round, but Gate 3 not seeing too much action. Obviously, the strategy now is not wanting to directly start next to Gate 1.
Yeah. Jordan Caruso in semi-final 1 will go from Gate 2. So will Luke Pink in semi-final 2. And that means Andrew Gilliam will have to go from Gate 4. And in semi-final 2, in semi-final 1, going from Gate 4 will be Joe Stewart. I think Gate 4 is troublesome because if you all get an even launch, well, the guy on the outside is always going to come off worse for wear.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's you'd definitely be a little bit worse off for wear. But it's not a loss there for Caruso and Luke Pink, and especially from Luke Pink starting well and truly down with only a second place, a third place, and a fourth place at the first few rounds. So just making those semi-finals, starting from Gate 2. Gate 2 has been proven to be pretty strong. So this could be a bit of redemption here for Luke Pink.
We both paused because I think we are both listening to
Race control.
Clint's explanation, which was just reaffirming to the drivers how that 3-way tiebreak for 8th has been sorted out, and it was by the most race wins, albeit being he got 1, they didn't, and that was laid out before the evening started in the rulebook, so all is fair and well. Points, now you can throw them out the window. We've got our 8 drivers ready for our semi-finals. Top 2 for each semi-final. Top 2 in each semi-final go through to the final. The winner of semi-1 will get the first gate pick for the final. that could be crucial. The winner in Semi 2 will get the second gate pick.
It's a bit. I'm just admiring that helicopter shot at the moment. It really shows the undulations here at Road Atlanta. Beautiful 23-degree day.
Still going to be a fall-up race.
Yeah, it's
And
exactly.
the aggression level is going to be set to maximum for these guys. It's first, second, or bust. All four of them, Brady Myers, Job Stewart, Jordan Caruso, Harley Haber, they've all won races today. Harley Haber's undefeated. Brady Myers has won every heat since he came last in Heat 1. Job Stewart's had a solid day out. Jordan Caruso's picked up wins. He's had a solid day out. Take your pick. Semi-final number 1. Green flag. Who gets the launch? It's even, but it's Harley Haber. His starts have been subliminally... have they been sublime? That's what I wanted to say tonight. And he will lead them again into turn 1. As Caruso fell back, Myers got into the back of Stewart. Battle for second. Stewart wins out for now as he goes a bit offensive, and they both come over the curb. Now there's contact around. Goes the 22. The red light comes on. We're going to try that again.
A little bit different there from Rallycross rules as well, so we are sticking with the 4 laps. Not extending it, which is probably pretty good considering how on edge some of these drivers are, as we've seen. Bit of a bummer there for Harley Haber with a great start there out of gate 1. Fortunately, just a little bit of contact there between Caruso, Myers and Stewart has shown the red light.
Oh, I wonder who's going to get the blame for it, if anyone. Because it could send someone home early. He's spending a lot of time reviewing it. All drivers back to the start grid. So no one at 100% fault for it. So we'll get all 4 drivers coming back to try this again. Haber, Stewart, Caruso, Myers. Haber has not failed to convert a single start today. Can he convert again? There's the jump. Haber, he smoked him. Oh, but wheel spin on the second part. He's not quite clear. And Joe Stewart with one on the outside, almost contact as Haber moved across to cover off Brady Myers, and Joe Stewart around the outside. How about the restart for him? He will lead them through turn number 3 as Haber throws it in behind him. Myers 3rd, Caruso 4th.
Yeah, that's it. And they're not racing for points now. They are racing to keep themselves in the game. So the bottom 2 will not be coming through. Definitely good work there from Job Stewart. Getting the early jump there. Haber, unfortunately, not getting the launch that he's been accustomed to as they come into contact in the back there of Job Stewart. Haber will most likely choose to get this Joker done. All 3 of them. Oh,
Myers gets into the back of Harley Haber. They're both in the fence. Jordan Caruso slips through. Corwin Bradbury, because he's going to take second place because of this. They've both wrecked out in front, and they're going to lose so much time. It'll be impossible to catch back up.
You were just catching them over the radio. Whether or not they're going to call it a red light race does sound like race control.
You can't call it a red light if they're already a lap into the race. I mean, what if you have a wreck on lap 4?
Yeah,
you know,
exactly right, yeah.
If it's a lap 1, then yeah, I guess. But there's no safety issues in sim racing, so you got to keep him going. And it means Stewart and Caruso should be pretty comfortable. Harley Haber is going to be absolutely livid. For the first time tonight, he didn't get the launch. And it was because they had to reset. He was given that chance to not launch perfectly. Didn't get it. It meant he was right in front of traffic coming into the Joker, and he got hit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just terrible luck.
Yeah, definitely the favourite going into it. Highest on points, starting from gate 1 as well, so shows how everything can come unstuck. We've just seen him now chipping away his laps. It would have to be an almost massive mistake there from either Caruso or Job Stewart, which both are looking pretty comfortable at the moment. Job Stewart with a pretty big gap now back to Caruso, so both of those in a lot of luck now. I haven't seen too much Job Stewart. Definitely with less wins than some of the others at the moment, so did get a win in round 4 and round 5, getting double points. But yeah, round 1, 2 and 3, not near the front, but yeah, definitely showing his brilliance where it counts.
Exactly right. He's bounced back late, and it is working a treat for him.
Oh, we've just had Jordan Caruso come
Oh
on.
no! Where's he ended up on the racetrack? That's the question. That's up at turn 5. He's gone all the way off. He's grabbed a fence, but such is the advantage he had after Haber's incident with Myers that he's still running in second place. And the frustration for Haber will grow even further when he sees the error that Caruso made. Stewart wins. Caruso somehow will finish in second. They're through to the final. Haber and Myers. Well, Haber was undefeated. Myers had won 4 on the trot. And they both got to go home.
Yeah, just hearing from race control, red lights are only applicable in the first half of the lap, so Harley Haber, yeah, obviously that pit entry is after almost the last turn of the race, so, sorry, the last turn of the lap. Oh, as we just see, Jordan Caruso hitting the fence pretty hard there on his in lap.
And we're going to send him out for our second semi-final now. Webster, Pink, Warren, and Gilliam. Good job from Luke Pink to get into the semis. He's been quietly achieving tonight, coming home with the race win in that final heat, and he had double points up his sleeve, and it was enough to catapult him up into 6th place after recording a second, a third, a fourth, a third in the 4 rounds before that. Dayton Warren, who's got 3 wins to his name and 2 second places. Andrew Gilliam started strong, but he's faded late, hasn't he? A win, and then a second, third, fourth, third. Needs to bounce back now.
Yeah, it really does show off your consistency where it counts. So, yeah, Luke Pink just getting in there by the skin of his teeth with a very late win.
And for Cooper Webster, very strong all night. 1 slip up in round 4, where he came 3rd. Meant he was 2nd, but he still gets choice selection for semi-final 2, which is what we're in now. Who goes through to join Stewart and Caruso in the final? Green is out. Webster, that might be the best start we have seen all night long. And they're 3 wide still for 2nd place. Pink on the inside, Warren in the middle. Gilliam out wide, looking for the crossover. Slides, and into the side of Warren he goes. Red light is out. We'll try again.
Yeah, a bit of a save there
That's the third time today that Andrew Gilliam has brought out the red flag. This time, unlike semi-final 1, I reckon we might have someone to blame for that incident. Gilliam, looking for the crossover, got on the curb as he did it, unsettled the car, and it flicked into the right rear of Dane Warren's car. So Gilliam's night is done. That leaves Pink, Webster, Warren to fight for the 2 spots in the final.
Yeah, and it definitely increases the chances now for Dane Warren and Cooper Webster looking pretty strong. So with Luke Pink not having to worry about Andrew Gilliam now, it's going to be a really hard push to get past both Warren and Webster, both being so strong the whole night. So just seen him come around and to line up again.
All right, try it again. Just 3 of them this time. There's the green. Can Webster launch like he did last time? More or less, yes he does. Warren, a better launch than last time, and Pink, a little bit worse off. You've got to clear first, second, and third then, through turn 1.
Yeah, but pretty expected first, second, and third, but Dane Warren right on the back there of Cooper Webster. Oh, just giving him a nudge there on the rear bar as they come down through the sweepers of 3 and 4. Pink just a little bit of a gap back now to the front too, so probably expecting Dane Warren now is going to try and get his Joker lap out pretty early.
Pink is desperately hoping these 2 come together. Whoever wins this race gets to select their pit stall second, which you would say, based off the selections for the semis, should be for gate number 3. So it is important to win this and not just consolidate a second place finish, as Webster decided late to take the Joker and Warren decided late not to. Pink stays with Warren. On the track, there's Webster.
Yeah, so we'll see. We definitely won't see Warren and Webster racing against each other tonight. This will be the final call between these 2. Luke Pink still sticking within range there of Dane Warren. A little bit further back, Dane Warren really fast through these sweepers. Oh, you see so much curb there that he's taking on that NASCAR. Nice and smooth there through that sweeping right-handed. Really no wheel spin. Dane Warren definitely showing how it's done. Hard on the brakes there. See all that suspension load right up, so you'd be expecting Warren now staying out on track there. So it'll be Luke Pink going in for the Joker.
Well, the longer he stays out by himself, the less likely there is to be a collision with Cooper Webster that could send either one of them out of the top 2, as Webster absolutely blazes by Pink, who's on his Joker lap. And it might just be too hard of a job for Pink to get up into the top 2 in this one.
Yeah, so we're seeing both between Warren and Cooper Webster almost a time trial between the 2 of them, trying to get that track position. You can see Warren driving super aggressive there, hard on the curbs there, but not enough to unsettle the car too much. So we will see him through 10A and 10B. Pinpoint perfect there through that chicane.
So Warren comes in for his Joker. Ooh, locked it up just a bit. Runs a bit wide. That may be enough to allow Cooper Webster to go by him.
Oh, it's almost a drag race on the other side of the wall. They are going to come out at the same spot. Luke Pink still not too far behind there. It's Cooper Webster with the advantage.
So Webster leads Warren on our final lap. Luke Pink in the background, hoping and praying for contact ahead of him, as Warren works over the back bumper of Webster. It's Altis versus Privateer right now. Bump again. Goes Warren into the back of that 37. 37 of 57. Who gets it? Down into the chicane for the final time in the semi-finals. Is he close enough? He's not there. He's having a look. He's going for it. Up the inside. Dancing it in on the rears. He slides it to a stop. Gets into the back bumper again. But he's not quite close enough. He can't quite do it. Cooper Webster will hold on to take victory in semi-final 2. Dane Warren will join him in the final. Luke Pink, valiant effort. Spectacular finish. But he will have to go home, along with Harley Haber, Brady Myers, and Andrew Gilliam, leaving early after our semi-finals. So our 4 drivers in our final: Haber, nope, Stewart, Caruso, Webster, and Warren.
Yeah, so Webster and Warren will almost pretty much just do a lap all the way back to the start-finish line and start all over again. So
No, they'll reset their cars so they get a fresh one.
Yeah, that's right. Reset the cars, get some fresh tyres. Great work there by Warren, knowing probably didn't want to put down too hard of a move and risk having Luke Pink come through almost with the Stephen Bradbury if they came together. So looking forward to seeing them battle in the final.
Bit like Jordan Caruso did to get into the final himself. Haber and Myers crashing in front of him.
Yeah, so Dane Warren really has just has that Mustang so well planted as he can slide it and really control it through everything.
And now, Job Stewart selects gate number 1 for the final. Cooper Webster will get to pick from gates 2, 3, or 4. And Cooper Webster will select gate 2. Caruso's taken 3. And so Warren will have to start from gate 4.
Looks like Cooper Webster will be the one to beat again, I reckon, off the line. He's had a almost perfect run here with these launches.
So this is it. This is the money race. This is the final race of the night. 4 laps. Job Stewart, Cooper Webster, Jordan Caruso, and Dane Warren. The launch off the line is going to be so critical for these guys, because if you don't get it, you're on the back foot, and with just 4 laps, we've seen it is not impossible to recover quickly enough.
Some pretty amazing sim racing talent we've got here tonight, Ryan. Yeah, definitely some of Australia's best. Some pretty strong teams as well that we've seen from Scops having drivers in here. So, yeah, such an excellent event, the All Star Shootout 7.
All right, here we go. One last time. Warren lines up a little too far forward. Looking for our All-Star champion in the Racecraft Simulations All-Star Shootout 7. In Road Atlanta, we go green. And it's Warren with the launch. Caruso going with him. Webster had a shocker. Job Stewart in 3rd. Jordan Caruso going to lead them through turn number 1. Warren looking for the crossover. Finds nothing but a purple rear bumper.
Yeah, they all bunch up together as just Warren there in the back there of Caruso.
Stewart on the outside, gonna get squeezed into the grass.
Yeah, all sitting so tight at the moment. This is probably the tightest first lap, so we're past the 50% mark now of lap 1, so there won't be any red flags. This will be a flag-to-flag finish.
On the brakes for the first time into turn 10. Who's going to take the Joker? Someone will for sure to get that clean air. It will have to surely be Warren, and it will. He goes straight, and Job Stewart comes with him. He pulls it up. Crucially, stays off the back of that 57 car. And they've got to make sure they don't trip over each other here while they are running around on this racetrack with Caruso and Webster still yet to pit. That start for Webster surely might be his downfall because he was about 15 or so car lengths back by the time they reached turn 1.
Yeah, and even just seeing him now, he's still quite a few lengths back off the back of Caruso. He'll have to put in, you would think, a lap time almost a second and a half quicker just to get back, get himself back into the game. We're just catching Dane Warren just coming through now, so just seeing if Caruso or Cooper Webster are going to take a pit now.
Caruso's going to pit. And this is going to be for our net race lead. Gets it through the Joker. Bit of a mistake. Couldn't get it pulled up in time. And that's enough for Dane Warren to go by. Into the lead of the race. Can Job Stewart take second away as well? Yes, he can. So Caruso falls to third after leading them out of turn number 1.
Yeah, big slide there from Job Stewart. Still a fair bit in front, so all eyes now are going to be on Cooper Webster. He's had that absolutely horrendous start, but he'll need to get in front of Dane Warren there.
Going to take quite some doing as Stewart slides through turn 5 and into the chicane. Caruso's close enough, but he doesn't look for it. Pulls it up right on the back bumper off that number 30 car. Can they work together to get to Warren? Final lap, the white flag, and you see Webster there. Warren's got this one by quite a margin right now. That's first to second on your screen. Cooper Webster's going to rejoin just behind Caruso. In the battle for third, Caruso locks it up, and Webster going to drive on by him into turn 3. Inside line for the Altus driver. Takes it away. But Caruso powers back. Good scrap for third on the final lap. And gets there.
Yeah, this last podium position there does look pretty safe there to Job Stewart as well as Dane Warren. We're just keeping with the fight for third place between Caruso and Webster. You'd almost think Webster's going to have to try and drop it down.
Caruso bowls it off the racetrack, and that'll give it up to Cooper Webster. But out front, Dane Warren. Superb drive. Dane Warren is your champion of the All Star Shootout 7th edition. Job Stewart comes home in second. Webster gets third right at the end. Takes it away from Jordan Caruso. Brilliant final heat. Final event. And a fantastic night of racing, Nick.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we did see Dane Warren pretty quick in qualifying. Just going through some of the spreadsheet there's been pretty consistent with his wins as well. So made it where it counts, got maximum points with his double point bumper as well. Definitely making it happen where he can. You'd have to say though, the big loser out of all this, definitely Harley Haber, highest on points, but unfortunately an incident after a restart has not put him through to the final. So pretty
exactly
unfortunate.
Right. Haber was definitely the man to beat, but unfortunately, when it mattered, he wasn't there. And one mistake is all it took. in the end, in practice, our top 3 fastest drivers ended up in that final: Warren, Webster, and Caruso. Cooper, Job Stewart, he was 6th fastest in practice, so he found some decent pace to claw his way into 2nd for that final. And let's have a chat. Today, Warren, who is the champion of our 7th edition of the All Star Shootout, good job. That final, it just works out well for you and able to get away.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. I think Cooper had a pretty bad start too. Yeah, obviously in the other heats he had quite a lot of pace and was able to keep him behind, so getting him out of the way early kind of made it a bit easier for me in the end.
Big night, lots of racing to do to get yourself into that top 8. The 2 early wins to double points worked out well. What were you looking for the double points as to when you wanted to use it?
Well, I mean, without putting people down, you obviously look at the weakest links. So, yeah, I saw Kurt Stenberg and instantly went double points for that, so and we were able to come away with a win, so yeah, no complaints there.
How much of an adjustment is it, and what was the practice like for you? Obviously coming from the Porsche Esports Super Cup only last night or so, and then having to go to a car that's maybe at the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of handling. What was that like?
Well, shockingly enough, like this car, as bad as it is over curves, isn't that dissimilar to how we had it in the Porsche. And in terms of getting used to it, like we had about half an hour before the session went up, so we were sort of on the back foot. Like I only just got my start sorted in that last couple of heats, so it just came in to have a good bit of fun. And we ended up coming away with the win, which is always good. Yeah,
good job. Who are the people that help you get it done? Any sponsors? You're still a privateer, aren't you?
Yeah, that's it. Obviously, a completely black car at the moment, so I'll just give thanks to Clint, obviously, for running the event and inviting us along. It was really good fun.
No worries. Good job on that win, and best of luck for the 8th edition, whenever that comes around.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
That was Dave Warren walking away with the race win. It's a who's who down in the interview box at the moment. We'll drag Joe up here, and Nick, you can have at it.
Yeah, congratulations, Job, on your 2nd place. How'd you find it?
Yeah, thanks. It was pretty good. I was just happy to get into the final because at the start of the night I wasn't looking too promising because I got no points in the first race. But yeah, ended up with 2nd, which is pretty good.
Yeah, that's it. I was actually just going through some of your earlier rounds as well. So yeah, it's been quite good. You've really been left of field and made it matter where it counts. Have you got any highlights that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, just thanks to Pursuit Sim Racing for all the help and hard work.
Yeah, no problems at all. How'd you find the Mustang compared to the V8 supercars and stuff that you're more used to?
Yeah, this thing has little to no grip. Just every time you turn it in, it either understeers or just the back snaps out. So yeah, it's pretty tricky to drive.
Yeah, it's exactly right. And also, it looked pretty challenging as well, getting it off the line from a standing start.
Yeah, it is pretty tricky. You just try and modulate the clutch as best you can, but most of the time it just wheel spins.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Job, I hope to see you in All Star Shootout 8. You're also the Just Send It upgrader as well. So, yeah, would have been good to get in that extra laps there that you did on Friday night. So, yeah, congratulations on doing well in both races.
Yeah, cheers. It was great to get in through Just Send It.
Hey, I said at the start of the night, Nick, that Job would be one to look out for after being hard done by not getting an invite. Well, he proved it, getting that 2nd place in the end and 3rd place in our final. Jordan Caruso, good job. You just snuck into that final. The seas kind of parted for you, but you showed some pretty good pace to get there.
Yeah, I was pretty fortunate. I got 2 really bad starts in the semi-final, but it all worked out at least. I think I sort of had the pace to be there, but yeah, and the last race, that was just really poor driving by me. But yeah, Dane was just ridiculously fast. I think as long as he sort of didn't make any mistakes, he was always going to win it. But no, it was heaps of fun.
So August through your night, what were the best bits for you? You finished 2nd or 1st? 2nd, 4th, 2nd, 4th. Points points, 2-2, 4-2, 4. Picks up the double points in the last race, though, so that was another second place finish. It's just a matter of consistency for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think, well, a lot of them, I was sort of up against Cooper and Dane, so I ended up second in a lot of them. But yeah, I just tried not to make any mistakes and make the semi-final and then go from there. But nah, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
What was the adjustment like? Said at one point that this isn't a car I'd expect to see any of our drivers normally in, none of U16 anyway. So what was it like trying to get a handle on the Xfinity car and its supreme lack of grip?
It actually wasn't too dissimilar to the V8. It's sort of like a heavier, lazier, slidier V8. So it wasn't, I mean, obviously there was a lot of adjustment, but I think we were all sort of, from that experience in the V8, I think we were all able to adapt pretty quickly. So, yeah.
Dan Warrington, it's not too dissimilar from how the Porsche was, not too dissimilar from how the supercar was. It's every man's car, apparently, the Xfinity machine. Who do you want to thank for helping you get up there today?
ERT, and I guess whoever organised it, and Clint. Everyone who was involved. Yeah, Clint, and everyone else who was involved. It's been a really fun night.
Thanks for being there. Thanks for being on a show. Congratulations once again on knowing that podium at the end.
No worries. Thank you.
Sean Caruso there comes home in third. Fourth in our final was Cooper Webster. So we're going to chat to him. Nick, what do you got?
Yeah, Cooper, pretty unfortunate there with that start. Yeah, talk us through it.
Yeah, I think that was the real disappointment of that race, but I think I used up all my good starts in all the heats and then lost that one because everyone seemed to have one bad start and mine unfortunately went in the last race. But yeah, I just think I just gathered a lot of wheel spin, which is what happened. But I was really on the edge of the starts every race, which you could probably see by how good the starts were. I was quite surprised myself. But yeah, I was still disappointed that I lost time on Job halfway around the lap because I messed up my Joker lap. Not sure if you spotted that one, but yeah, I think I could have come out in front of him and then had a good race with Job at the end if I hadn't done that. But yeah, the start let me down, but it's all good. I had a lot of fun.
We also saw it in round 4 as well. I think you might have started either in neutral or reverse after having to reverse back. I think your nose was slightly pointing out in round 4. So yeah, a little bit unfortunate as well because you were showing such strong pace. Any other highlights that you'd like to mention?
Yeah, I think also the battle with Jordan at the end was quite fun. I think we did half the lap side by side. I got him in the end, spooked him a little bit. Yeah, broke himself. But yeah, the fights I had with Dane were one of the best I've had. So to be able to fight someone like that was really good.
I'm curious, when he had to reverse up and he went nowhere, was it wrong gear? You're in neutral?
Yeah, I reversed, and at that point I had already started slipping the clutch, and then it kind of put me off when I had to reverse back a bit. And when I reversed back, I actually stalled it, and then I couldn't tell if the engine was starting or not because the sound of the engines from the other guys either side of me, I couldn't tell. So it was actually really lucky that I got off the line. But yeah, I stalled it. Yep.
Yeah.
No, excellent work, mate. And even though coming fourth in the final, yeah, some pretty strong drivers there. Some people you'd like to thank?
Yeah, just like to thank all the competitors that came and raced tonight. It was just a really, really fun event. Never done something like this before. And also the admins for doing all the hard work to make this happen because it was a really fun night.
Yeah, for sure, mate. Well, congratulations. Yeah, some pretty good pace between Friday and tonight. So, yeah, it'd be good to take a bit of a break.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Cooper Webster comes home in fourth after a poor start, unfortunately. And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for tonight. What a night it's been of racing in the NASCAR Xfinity car around Road Atlanta, the shortened circuit, and a Joker lap as well. But for tonight, that'll do us. Make sure you head to Some Speed TV and chuck us a like on Facebook as well so you don't miss any other action from plenty other series across the week. But from myself, Ryan Jones, Nick's alongside me, and Fonty behind the scenes, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
fantastic. This is GT racing right now.
He's got traction, he's got rid of the outside, both of them! Maloney!
Oh, he's taken Anderson! Anderson's up top!
Oh my god!
Big crash! Oh my goodness, half the field's gonna get rolled!
Second very close. These guys are want to make their way through the field very quickly. Oh, here we go! Oh no! That's massive! This is it! This is over! I can't believe this! Oh my god!
God, what?